What was the king's name again? King Celsius. So, so I asked the captain, like, you mentioned that magic types aren't really they're not smiled upon around here. What kind of magic should we look out for or avoid using? Oh, magic in general. And I hold up my hand, but kind of like block it from everybody else, and just kind of like produce a little blue flame in the middle of it. He's like, "You talk about this kind of magic?" Just like a little bit of fire in my hand. Much obliged. No, tip my hat to him. Hey! No, 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 no! Hocus pocus, man. Do you say crawl? I, I take a look at Athenia and I say, "Sweetheart, the children want to go to the tavern." I'll uh
loud, and I say, "Dandelion wine, please."
That wasn't me. that wasn't me.
You just see a couple of people just start looking at you from the loud voice, and then you just hear one guy go, "Hey, did that little kid just yell so loud? I don't think I've ever heard someone that had that powerful voice."
I look at the gnome and I ask, "What is your name?"
Well, I'm Healer Gnome. In my village, we're all named for things that we either look like or do. So we have Papa Gnome and Angry Gnome and Happy Gnome and Pretty Gnome and Gnomette.
You should definitely.
Are you serious?
And I heal, so I am known as Healer Gnome.
And then there's the smooth talker, Nomeo.
I say in response to this, "Are you serious?"
Well, yes, I am serious, of course. And like I said, I am on my Springer, so let's have a good time and get some dandelion wine. Come,
say
drunken
To
dwarf.
think this
I
village
say-
of yours may dislike wizards as much as these people. There's probably an angry, evil wizard nearby.
I say in response to Healer Gnome, "No, that is my
Gilgamore?
name.
Yes. Say it again, Mike.
No, that is my name."
Say
Are you
that again.
serious?
Are you serious?
Call me.
I knew a different Sirius as Anus Irius. Is he related to you?
Yeah, I want
No,
to
I
call
do not
you,
know. No, I do not know.
Oh, must be a different Anu.
So, what is your plan?
I am a 5'10" tiefling male with kind of palish skin, horns that just curl up over my head, not too crazy looking, but dressed in finer merchant clothing with just simple, like, more decorative than protective than anything.
I look at you and I ask, "Are you a Jiggo?"
You may think that. I have a way with the ladies every now and then, but no, that is not my profession.
quite interesting of a question there. Well, I am Athenia, but I guess you are called R, and you are Paxi, correct?
I am, ma'am.
That is correct, sir.
What
Wait.
do you?
No, sir.
My friend, are you? I believe you are in the presence of a lady. Well, she is quite muscular from the size of her weapons.
I am
kind of give you a
sorry.
side eye as you say that.
I am sorry.
I just start like flexing.
I'm about
I'm-
5'9", tan skin, blonde hair, and I'm wearing chainmail. Got myself a shield and a sword. And
I meant no
Yes,
disrespect, ma'am. Just that you will appear to be proficient in your profession.
understandable. I'll let it slide for now. Now you there, as I point at the halfling. Quite an interesting decor, I must say. And you are?
And I start like flexing again, am Swolbo.
Nice to meet you, Swolbo.
I am a 2'10" halfling who is incredibly buff and has a battle axe and a warhammer on his back.
Is it alright if I call you Bo?
The first part of my name's the important part, so no.
Alright, Bo. But you know what? I'll repeat to
You
that.
can call me Swole.
I'll call you Swole.
I look at the shape of Swobo and I say, "Are you a boulder?"
Is
Goddamn,
Swolbo
Tannis,
just
I
a
have to-
walking triangle of a man? Did he skip leg day?
Wait, did you ask,
No,
did you ask if I'm a boulder?
Yeah, I said, "Are you a boulder?"
I am not a boulder, no. But you see, where I grew up, my mother was a gem merchant, and I used to help her mine the gems with my bare hands.
That'll do it.
Oh, Chad. Well,
The right
goddamn
age of
paladin
3
tenants,
weeks.
dude. I actually have to treat you with respect, goddammit.
Well, if anybody's interested, I'm a
Better treat me with respect.
3 foot to 4 foot dwarf, about 185 to 200 pounds.
It's a thick dwarf.
The
Two
thickest.
C's.
So, I hear we're going to a tavern. I must say, despite my stature, I do quite like a fine drink.
Ooh.
I will lay my hands on Cammy, tell him the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and give him guidance to find it.
Oh, my friend, I can smell a drop of alcohol from a mile away.
Then we follow you, Cammy. Lead the way.
Hi-ho, hi-ho. Let's go get drunk, let's go.
And I guess we head to the tavern. Or
So,
Down in, by the peasant district, is it not? Down
yes,
here?
it is. Right around here, yes. So, as you guys are walking down the streets, the scenery changes quickly from, the watery docks to the actual city itself. The city of Witchdoor is actually fairly nice. Well-tidied streets, nice-looking buildings of white stone. There's a lot of guards posted around in silvery armor. That looks a little flashy, maybe a little too flashy for convenience. But the place is nice. Has a very nice upbeat-ish atmosphere. See, if anything, the place feels respectable. Even the alleys are kind of clean, which is kind of impressive, because that's usually not the case for a lot of these cities. But then you start getting closer to the peasant district, and then suddenly that whole nice tidiness starts to go down a few notches. The place is still nice, just not as nice compared to the other areas that you've been walking through.
Feels bad.
But as you guys get close, you start seeing a rather tall-ish building. It's about 2 stories, so not as big, I guess, compared to some others that you've seen. But it has a nice big sign with the words "Glittering Bauble" written in silvery letters. And you can see from the noise coming inside, it's it's a loud, kind of joyous place, if anything. But then anything is a tavern. And seeing that's kind of a place where a lot of these people go to enjoy themselves, kind of expected. And the door's wide open, and you guys head in. When you guys step into the tavern, the place itself seems rather simple, despite what may seem you guys, assume by the term "glittering bauble." There's a lot of various people about talking, eating, drinking. And then at basically the place where the bartender and also just the keeper in general, the rather suave, well-dressed man, cleanly shaved, very smooth black haircut, and a very wide yet charming smile. And who's also very, very well built to the point where this dude is very big. Not quite as big as the half-orc captain, but he looks like he could basically take care of anything if someone were to cause problems. And also hanging behind him on the wall is a large black longsword that seems to almost glimmer slightly when the light just hits it just right. So when you guys step in, he just looks at you guys with a wide smile like, "Ah, customers, come on in. If you want a drink, I have what you can drink. Now, what can I get you? A place to stay, some food, some fine ale, or rum if that's how you drink. Well, how can I help you?"
A tankard, please. Small tankard. About 45 to 50 ounces. Please and thank you.
He just turns, looks at his shelf. "Ah, sorry, lad. Looks like I'm all out of the small 50-ish ounces. Can you do a 60 ounce?
Yes, please.
Alright, what do you like to drink? I have plenty to the selection. I have ale, I have wine, I have... Since you seem out of town, I'll give you the newcomer's discount. It'll cost only 1 copper.
Oh, can I have 5?
Sadly, the discount only applies to the first drink.
What's the second one?
5 copper.
A good business model.
5 it is.
Oh, wait a minute. We're
That
gonna
will
start
be-
with 10.
That will be 21 copper, sir.
Okay. Reach into my groin sack, pull out this coin purse that appears to be heavier than you would normally imagine, pull out the pieces, slide a silver piece on the table, and then wait for the tankards to arrive.
He goes over, grabs 5 of these tankards, 3 in one hand, 2 in the other, goes over to this keg, fills it up with this very deep brown, yet very shimmery liquid. He fills up all 5 to the point where the tops are foaming, and he turns and just slams them down on the counter. There you go, lad.
Much obliged. So, grab the first one. First one's gone. Empty cup back on the table. The other 4, 2 and 2, walk back to the table.
He kind of looks down at the silver piece. Looks like you're short of a silver piece and 1 copper.
Oh no, I put down all of the copper and an additional silver piece.
Oh, in that case, he just grabs it, takes it, just puts it in his apron, and just gives a nice nod. His charming grin. Enjoy.
My lad.
So-
I plan to.
All right. So, like a copper is like $1, so to speak, quote unquote, ish.
I mean, you could try to think of it like that, sure.
Okay, so you just gave the bartender like a $10 tip.
God, it's always
Bartender, 50% tip.
about the tip.
Yeah, you have a 50% tip right there.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and he seems pretty happy about
This is a
that.
man who appreciates a beverage.
So I lean onto the bar and I go, my good patron, I'm not one for the drink, but if you have something a little fiery on your menu, I'd love to partake.
You're not the first to come here that is for the food. Something fiery. Yeah, I do not have something specific, but I can ask the chef.
And I kind of look back at Cammy. It's like, perhaps later, but right now, food first.
Of course. How about this? 5 copper, and I'll ask the chef to prepare something special. A surprise, if you're fine with that.
Very well. I put down 5 copper.
He goes, "Hey, Ronnie! Make your special! We have a customer who's interested." Then you just hear "My special! You got it! Oh, I'm going to get some smoke burning in here!"
And I yell back to Ronnie. Was his name?
That's what you heard.
Ronnie, I ain't no like nothing you ever seen. You make it as hot as you can stand. If you ain't sweating just by cooking it, I don't want it.
You just see this dwarf pop out with like black hair, his very like wrinkly face. He just like looks around until he sees you and like, oh, tiefling, makes sense. He goes out, pulls out a big pair of goggles, slaps onto his head.
I tip my hat to him.
And he just goes, yeah, that's Ronnie, best chef you can find.
Very well.
Then he just
You go ahead.
I'll flip my hat to Cammy, and I'll ask him to fill it, please. Sir, may I have some ale?
Is this like one of the big triangle gnome hats?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
And then I will cast Detect Magic. And see what I see around the room as I drink.
That's a channel, by the way. But so you cast it?
Yeah, what's a channel? What do you mean?
Takes like
It
10
takes
minutes.
time.
It takes some time. I mean, it has a longer cast time compared to
Yeah,
other
take
spells.
10 minutes.
Wait, let me
Well, no,
double
it says
check
cast-
see
it
if I
says
need to
casting
roll
time is 1
perception.
minute. I don't know
Cast
what a
time in
channel
1
is.
minute.
No, casting time is 1 action, sorry.
Oh, no, it's instant.
Oh, it's just it takes a while before it detects more things. Got it. In that case, let me roll a quick perception.
Are you thinking of identify as a 10-minute one? Is that what you're thinking of?
Okay, you cast detect magic. You don't
Detect
quite...
Magic of 1 action, concentration up to 10 minutes.
Right. So you start getting the feel of the area. This tavern seems relatively lacking in magic, but then you start noticing a rather potent aura coming from the sword behind the barkeeper. You can tell that this black sword is definitely very magical. In fact, it has a rather intense aura to the point where you're feeling it's a very precious item. And it's just hanging there right behind the guy.
Alright, I'll keep that information myself.
Can I
Yep.
detect that he's doing this
I
in some
mean,
capacity?
you
being
can-
this close to him?
if he's right next to you, you'd probably be able to notice. Because, I mean, magic does require...
It has
Like,
verbal
it's-
and somatic components,
Yep,
right?
verbal and somatic components.
So,
Yep.
so he's like chanting and waving his arms around while on your neck.
Do
And
you,
a lot.
do you
I'm just
speak
gonna say
Infernal, Cammy?
that... Infernal. God.
All my magic is cast in Infernal. By the way.
Don't be careful where you do it in front of, I guess.
What?
I do not.
Okay, so
But-
you just hear a bunch of Infernal babble.
How,
Alright, so
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So, as our little friend here is doing his demonic voice,
And Pete, no
I
one
just-
seemed to notice, apparently.
right?
None of the patrons are paying attention, and the guy running the bar is kind of just busy cleaning a tankard.
I'm assuming my finger is as big as his head, so tapping on his shoulder is a vigorous assault. So I'm just gonna, as lightly as I can, poke him in the shoulder and ask him, let me see your hat real quick. I'm gonna show you a trick.
Well, it still has a little bit of drink in it, and I tell him I hope it involves filling my hat. Did you want a perception check, DM?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see here. +3, total is 22.
I just see white. That works. Also, a quick question: can everyone see each other's names?
I only see my
You mean
own.
in the bottom or under the tiles?
Under your token.
No,
I
I can only see mine.
see my own.
In that case, how do I set it so you can see others? I'll figure that out.
Okay.
The setting on the token itself.
I rolled a 22.
To perceive him casting magic?
No. I
looking at
cast
casting
detect magic,
Oh.
I think he's looking at the sword.
but the sword's all I saw, right?
Go
I
to
think he
the-
said he wanted a perception check before he told me about the sword, so I wasn't sure if he still wanted one or not.
No. He was talking about other people in the bar, I think, doing perception to see if they noticed you doing magic.
Okay. I do hand my hat to Cammy, assuming he's going to refill it with ale.
Better yet. So I top it off just a little bit, leave about an inch worth of room in the little hat, and I just give a profane whistle. And this little bottle pops up on the table. Walks over, I grab it by the head, and it squeals like a pig, and I go, and hand the hat back and put the bottle back in my pouch.
You say the bottle squeals like a pig?
The bottle squeals like a pig. Yep.
Okay.
He's an artificer.
Puts the bottle back in the pocket, hands it back, and when I hand the hat back to you, it is fizzy or bubbly beyond comparison.
I'll drink it. I trust you.
Yeah, that's how we do it where we're from. The good fizzy
A
bubbly.
quick question. How tall is the bar?
All right.
It's probably standing on it.
Are you guys able to see some of these tokens, not names now?
Yes, I see him now.
Yeah.
I see
I
all
see
but
some of them.
I'm currently fixing this for all. I think you guys can also. Who's missing?
I don't
we are
see
missing
Drew.
Kami.
All right.
No, I'm there. Wait,
I
no,
don't see
guess-
your name.
Yeah, never mind.
How
Alright,
strong
yeah,
is
I
the
can
drink
flip.
Cammy gave me?
That's a Kami question.
I would say it is infused level of stronger and much more carbonated.
So then you know how like drunk white girls talk about things they shouldn't be talking about? I will do the same to the bartender climbing up on his bar about his sword.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. How tall is this bar?
It reaches to his chest.
Bar-
No.
it's
He's
bar height.
taller than average, so about his waist. So you would I would say it would take an athletics or an acrobatics to climb up there. If
I
you're-
will
Alright.
at disadvantage because I'm drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Let's see here. 20 on the first. 19 on the second.
You climb up there relatively easy. For
And I
some,
will-
some miracle.
I'm
And he
I'm
just-
also
when
When
climbing
you
up onto the
climb
bar.
up, he kind of just looks at you with like a raised eyebrow.
I will start talking about the sword in drunk white girl speak. That is such a beautiful sword. You are so lucky to have that. And loud
You
enough
just,
for all
like,
of my companions to hear.
He just nods like, ah,
What?
oh, you're talking about this beauty. He goes, sits down the tanker he's cleaning, goes over, grabs the sword by the hilt, lifts it up. He just like puts on his palm, just shows it. I obtained this from during my adventuring days. It's definitely my most pride and joy of, well, along my memory of being an adventurer, you know?
May I
It was-
hold it?
No.
Is it bigger than me?
It's about 2 times. How big are you?
He's a foot tall.
One- I'm a foot tall.
I don't know
20
the
pounds.
dimensions of the long sword, but it's probably at least twice as big as you.
Probably 4 to 5 times.
It's big.
Are
and
you
he's-
sure? I carry bigger things than that in my pants.
Oh, I believe you, but not this.
Arthur,
Very
more
important
ale.
to me.
And I will leave.
And he goes, sets it back onto like its pedestal, lets it go. Also, I can't
I
help
get
but
a
notice.
May I get a drink, sir?
Of course. Now, what can I get you?
Can I get some rum, if I may?
Ooh. We just got a fine selection as of yesterday, actually. It is called Silver Serpent. It's a little bit on the pricier side, a silver piece for a tankard, but it is well worth it.
I'll take it.
Good. He goes, grabs a tankard, walks over to a cask that has like silver on basically written on it in like a silver lettering. You can see some like decorative serpents on there. Very pretty for what's supposed to be something just holds rum. He goes over, pours a tankard of this shimmering, yet very clear liquid. And he sets it down. It's also very strong, but Looking at you, I can tell you can probably hold your drink pretty well.
I'm sorry, is he getting a tankard of rum?
Yes, that's why it's a silver piece.
Jesus Christ.
It's a full tankard.
I with my little halfling body, like, grab
60
onto the top of
ounces
the
of
bar.
rum.
You guys hear a lot of coming from the kitchen. You just hear, "Whoa, this thing is hot!"
I'm like grabbing onto
And
the
you
top
just
of
see
the
this
bar
black
and, like,
smoke start wafting out of the kitchen. Don't worry, it's not on fire. That's just the peppers.
What was his name again?
Ronnie.
Ronnie, you ain't better to have no eyebrows when you come out of the kitchen, boy.
I want to like pull myself.
I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna have no beard when this meal is done. Oh, there goes my beard. It's already on fire. And you just hear shouting that becomes gibberish.
I want to like pull myself up onto the bar and then just be like, have my arms like crossed in front of me, just like holding me up on the bar. Hello, give me a double of your strongest stuff.
He just looks down, blinks.
If you'd like, don't worry about. Wait.
No. I'm curious, actually. You said my strongest.
Oh yes.
You do know that costs 2 gold pieces for the strongest stuff. How about this? You can have it free if you can drink the whole thing and still be conscious.
You got it.
Good. He goes over here to the counter. You can hear some filling. He presses something down. You hear a clicking noise as this thing opens up. He pulls out this bottle that's made of solid gold, and you can see gems and stuff crusted, and you can see words "dragon breath" on it.
Before Ronnie comes back, while he's occupied with the counter, can I attempt to steal from behind
Oh
his counter?
no.
You want to?
Yes,
Yeah,
from like
you
right
do.
here.
Go roll stealth.
Can I perceive this?
You roll perception as well.
I would also like to perceive this.
I
Roll
would also like
perception.
to
Or is
Roll
this against
stealth.
our passive perception?
That's my stealth.
Alright, I mean,
How do we find our passive perception, Dane?
I see what he's doing.
I'm too busy looking at the guy getting my drink.
Passive perception is listed on the left side of your character page.
Oh, passive perception is 13. What do you roll?
He rolled a 21.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. He rolled a 16.
No,
No.
Drew rolled a 21 to try and
Roll-
see.
yeah.
Well, I would see him like walking over there, right?
probably.
Yeah, because I was right next to you. I was right next to you.
So you start
Ah.
crouching down low, trying to become inconspicuous.
I
as this
am-
Guys reach over and grab this golden bottle.
I'm paying attention to the black smoke coming out of the kitchen with
Oh.
renewed intrigue.
So, Athenia, as you see this guy basically pulling out Swolbo's death sentence, you notice in the corner of your eye that the little dragonborn guy is currently starting to become a little sneaky and start moving to the side.
I start moving with my drink, kind of casually over. Enjoy your food, Poxy.
Ma'am.
I don't want any part of that person. As I kind of step away
And
from
then,
Paxi because of the inevitable.
as you start sneaking around, are you?
Mhm.
Then suddenly the door bursts open and you see this dwarf comes out
Oh,
holding
snap.
a giant plate full of charred. Looks like chicken.
Tendies. Spicy tendies.
I do not know what this tendy is you speak of, but oh lad, I hope you like eating molten lead. This is going to burn a hole in your stomach. And he starts walking out. This cloud of smoke comes past. Make a Constitution save.
Oh no.
Just
what
getting
is this?
close to it.
Make a Constitution save.
Is everyone making a Constitution save for this?
No, only those within 5 feet of the
Oh no.
11. You fail. Your eyes are on fire. The moment the smoke comes in contact, your skin's burning. Your eyes are like tearing up. When the moment you take a breath, it feels like your lungs are burning. At this point, you're on the ground now. fucking
I
writhing in
see
pain.
this, and I'm gonna move well out of the way.
You just see this guy's like, he's still wearing, this dwarf is wearing full protective gear and these thick goggles. And he's just walking past over here. He's kind of steps close to this guy. This guy goes, oh! And
Wait, so what happened
Hold
to
on.
me?
You're on the ground in pain.
You got tear gassed.
this guy's, okay, this dude right here is currently fucking writhing on the ground now. And he just goes right
Ronnie,
here.
maybe you should have gone the other way around the counter. You seem to have, collateral damage.
Oh, good idea, lad.
And he walks back!
No.
You see this guy moves a little bit over here as he starts going around.
Ronnie, just,
These two people
oh,
start
no.
screaming in pain.
And I'm just trying to, like, lead him back the shortest route to his,
Swallow, make a constitution save.
Oh no, he's coming by me now.
As he gets to Swoba, I just go like, Ronnie, just put it on the counter, please.
And he just sets it down. Yeah, Swallow, you fail as well. They're currently not breathing in tear gas.
Dear God.
And this
How do I
dwarf,
move
he
on?
just gives it like, enjoy the meal, sir. And he goes all the way back into the kitchen. Who's gonna clean up this mess? Oh, guess it's me.
Are these people dead?
Nah, they're currently
Yeah, they
they're
all
on the
died.
ground right now. Yeah, they're dead. Collateral damage.
All right.
Anyways,
Patsy.
Paxi, you have this plate of this charred chicken. It's
So like glowing?
you're quite sure it might be, but it just could be the heat.
Alright.
I'm gonna. Am I capable of moving away from him?
You can crawl.
I pull myself up onto the bars and start crawling away from him.
Alright. And at that point, the smoke is cleared up enough that you're both kind of fine now, besides your dignity.
Uh,
We
that
can
was
see
terrible. I
The
need a
bartender
drink.
is he's just holding this gold bottle, kind of just like,
he's holding the lady's drink.
that's Swolbo's drink.
Oh. Oh,
right,
right,
I got my
right,
drink
right.
and I walked off of it.
Where 2 gold pieces for a serving of it.
That's
and he
if I
just-
pass out.
He says, since you asked for a double, he pulls out 2 shot glasses and just like, whoo, whoo. And you see this brilliant gold liquid in there, kind of bubbles slightly. He just takes the gold stopper, sets it in, goes back, puts it in, and he just walks up, crosses his arms. All right.
I look at Swobo and I say, why don't we see who passes out first? And I grab it, and I grab a tendy.
Wait. You
Oh.
you said there were 2 shot glasses?
Exactly. You asked for a double, and that's
Alright,
basically
take
how
one in
he
each
interpreted
hand.
it.
And get both at the same time.
Make a Constitution save with disadvantage.
You got it. Where do? Oh, whatever. I'll just click twice.
Oh no.
Damn.
Well,
The first one was so
You would've
good.
saved.
You handled it better than most, but you just like take a sip, your mouth fills with this almost spicy berry flavored drink. It's a little sweet and also slightly tart. And then it hits you. Suddenly the room starts swirling in an instant and you have a hard time keeping yourself up. Yet by some miracle though, you're not unconscious. You're just very, very drunk now.
you,
And the guy is just
you
sitting
all
there
right
just-
there over there, friend?
Take a sip of my rum as I watch this escapade.
Well, you're not unconscious yet, so. Well, I'm a man of my word. Free of charge.
This this size guy, beer fills up the stomach too quick. You gotta drink good stuff.
And he then looks at Paxi, and he kind of looks down at that meal, looks back at Paxi, looks down at the meal again, then back at Paxi.
Say, sir, this meal's not cooling down anytime soon. I'm enjoying my entertainment. Swobo, it is disrespectful to leave alcohol on the table. You gonna finish that second shot?
What?
He
I
took
took
them
both
both.
at
He
once.
took-
Oh, he did both. Oh, okay.
I took one
Officially,
shot
he's
glass and he
solely-
tamed and dumped
he-
both
he's-
of them in.
He's still leaving alcohol on the table by him sitting there, because he's technically alcohol. at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh yeah, I'm just like lying down on the bar. at this
Swobo
point.
has like a 20% alcohol blood level. Should be dead and well preserved.
So watching all these lightweights get drunk, Cammy and I sitting at the bar or at the table. I'd like to ask you why did you decide to come on this adventure, Cammy?
Well, I used to have a prosperous little business. But unfortunately, my friend, I've ventured on to other avenues. I was, shunned, per se, from the line of work that I was in, and now I'm forced to open a new business somewhere else. Good news is, I kept all of my recipes.
I'll
Do I hear this from Cammy?
I'm sorry?
Do I hear this from Cammy from where I'm sitting? Or standing, rather? I wonder if I
assume
hear
so.
this. Okay.
Kind
Come
of
join
vi-
us, are you? Or are
violently loud.
Athena?
Am I still on the floor?
Might as well. As I come sit down next to you guys with my mug of rum.
Oh, fancy lady with a fancy lady drink. You want to taste the spice of life?
I used minor illusion to make Athena's chest swell.
What the fuck?
I look down.
But it only works as long as she kind of stays still. Other than that, it gets a little blurry.
Otherwise, there's just floating boobs in the middle of the
Also, I will say, Paxi, since you're right there and Swobo's kind of out of it, you do notice that the barkeep, he's kind of looking at their general direction. You kind of see his eyes narrowing slightly. He doesn't seem to. It's like his eyes are the only thing you've noticed, because you're right there in front of him. You will definitely notice this kind of thing.
So I notice this, and I grab a chicken tendy, and I turn around and I interrupt their conversation and go, "Friends, to new beginnings!" to kind of make him shut up and pay attention to me instead of whatever he was trying to pay attention to, and I down one of the chicken tendies.
I maintain attention on Athena's.
Make a
baby.
Constitution save.
Can I say an advantage because I have fire resistance?
It's normal because it's not a disadvantage.
Oh no. Oh balls. Oh wait.
Here's the thing. You down the chicken tendy without chewing, it's kind of got stuck in your throat more than anything.
I just that wrong part.
You just see this guy like, oh lad, and he just goes over, rears up fist, and then punches you right in the back. You take how much damage? Unarmed strike. Okay, you take 3 bludgeoning, but the tendy, okay, now I'm saying unironically, shoots out of your mouth and like lands right over here. Yes, it got launched 20 feet from your
That's a
throat.
tear gas grenade right there. I'm not
Yeah.
getting near it.
I will say right now, the charcoal coating on it is definitely gone now, but you notice that the meat underneath is white and basically cooked quite well, so they're not full charcoal. But you do have a very spicy taste in your mouth right now. Very, very spicy.
And I'm just like, Ronnie! I'm gonna need that recipe! Thank you!
And Ronnie just shouts out, "Family recipe, lad! Its secret's gonna be going down to me grave with me!"
And I look at the bartender and I just give him a wink, compose myself as best I can, and I just say, "This is probably for the best."
Might want to
Deviant
chew next time,
chuckles,
lad.
And then she looks at Healer Gnome, realizes what he's doing. And I look down, look back up. Flick you on the head. Probably sends you flying because you're a foot tall.
I would fall off the table, I'm sure. Well, I do apologize. You know, I just, I tend for my women to be a little more well-endowed. Pretty Gnome was beautiful. You should have seen her in the beautiful theatrical play of Pretty Gnome, where she, a simple working girl, was picked up by a working gnome. A business gnome, if you will, and made into a princess. It was a wonderful play.
You made her mana pools pretty large. That's funny.
All right, I get up and I walk back to the bar.
And he,
Back to our
Actually,
discussion,
first of all, I
Cammy.
check on.
Oh, love that.
also, by
So-
the way, are you? You're kind of fine now at this point. You're no longer on the ground writhing in
You said
pain
BRB.
as Batman changed back into Bruce Wayne.
God, that's an old reference. But I think Aru is AFK right now.
In that case, he's still writhing in pain.
Go
So
over to Paxi.
I look at the
You feel
bartender
alright.
and his black sword. Say, adventurer, huh? Retired, I take it.
Why, yes, I am. I can help, but also tell that you're also adventurers. You don't look like your standard townsfolk or travelers.
Each one of us has their own story, I assure you. But, were you an adventurer in these lands or elsewhere?
Ah, these lands. You see, Witch Door, it is my home.
Fantastic. Looking to break a curse on a certain someone. You having a way around these parts might know of, things that might be able to do that.
Curse. Ooh.
You know,
Yeah, I know
magic-y,
what the-
hocus
I
pocus.
know what the curse is.
Hmm.
Now, the real question is, what sort of curse? Is it something you've obtained here in Auseland?
No, we just arrived here this morning.
Oh, so out of the continent. In that case, I do not know the details on how exactly curses work on outside of Auseland, but most curses, not pretty stuff. But I would say, most likely, if you're looking for a curse to be solved, to be cured, I would say consult the. Let's see. There's always the court cleric of the Viandor Castle, but there's no guarantee that you'll be able to see her. But then there's also the neighboring continent, the Boomies Theocracy. Very big on the divinity in that sort of area. So that's also a very good place to look. But it's a long travels to get there. So best chance would probably be to, well, meet the court cleric.
Cold cleric, or the Boomies Theocracy of the neighboring.
Yes. But
Gotcha.
if depending on the curse, it might require some very potent divine magic.
Cool.
So I'd say start here at the moment. But as I've said, meeting with her is going to be rather difficult, seeing. But no offense, you're technically no-named adventurers here. You're complete strangers. But if you do some work and make a name for yourself, I'm sure you'll be able to get some sort of permission.
Much obliged.
Of course. Now, actually, now that I'm interested, what sort of work are you looking to do here? What brought you here to Auseland, and to Wishtor specifically?
Mine specifically is said curse. You see, my daughter
Of
back
course.
home, she was cursed by Gru. She gets terrible nightmares at night. Things, claws, what have you. She hasn't been able to sleep for many a month and it's taking a toll on her physically. Healers back home say they can't do much. If it lasts much longer, she'll go mad with sleep deprivation.
Down syndrome.
No. But he just kind of nods his head. I see. In that case, looks like there's no time to simply just wait around. I'll tell you what. I know of a very good way to get some word out, if you will. But it does require some muscle on your end.
Muscle is
And,
something I have in
uh,
spades, and I look to Swobo.
I hear muscle and I kind of perk up and sit up. Yeah, you need some muscle?
Kind of just like looks at Athenia, then kind of like looks over the counter to Ryu, who's currently on the ground. Alright. How about this? You see, I have a connection in the barracks. Now, normally the barracks is where they offer most jobs and stuff to people. They're the ones who give assignments, because obviously the guards can't do everything when there's a lot of dangers going out there. So it's always good to have some freelancers out there, right? But the thing is, they don't normally offer them to outsiders. In fact, if you're an outsider, you'd be very, very lucky to even get such a job. But since I do have that connection, I can offer you a job and have you take care of it, bring it to me, I bring it to the person in the barracks, and then we work it out from there. Do that a few times, and then you'll become regular, so then you can start accepting any sort of commissions they might have. How about that?
This is for recognition, I'm assuming, and some
Of
form
course.
of pay.
Of course. It's not a job that would be payless. That would have the coin. And of course, if done enough, you might even get a place to stay here as additional payment.
I turn around to Healer and Kami and say, "Hey, Healer, Kami, you guys like money?"
Ugh, I like money.
That's as good as a yes as you're gonna get, friend.
Nah, I have no need for money.
Good. Alright. In this case, he kinda
Healer,
just
I'm sure
goes
it'll
over-
be one hell of an adventure to tell back home at Gnome Village on your, what holiday are you on again?
Just gonna.
Rom Springer.
Rom Springer. It'll be lots of fun, trust me.
Come on, fuck nugget! And grab the gnome, stuff him in my bag, and we run out the front door.
he's just... I did not tell...
I'll catch back up with them. You can tell me the details.
Of course. So, I'm going to be very frank here. This job is the first job, and it's going to be rather difficult. But sometimes you have to go a little hard in order to get the ball rolling, essentially. So there's a nearby forest here. The forest is to the east here of Witch Door. It is known as Heartwood. Now, I can't remember how long ago, but at some point in time, something happened in that forest. It used to be a very nice place where a powerful druid resided. If I remember correctly, the druid's name was Lentaka. However, something happened in that forest. Some magical ailment, either it's a curse or a disease. Something happened that started to mutate the creatures within, turning them monstrous, mindless, something akin to zombies? I do not
What was
know.
this forest called again?
Heartwood Forest,
Heartwood Forest. Got
of
it.
course. Now, currently, it was an issue that was so problematic that the royal family themselves actually hired some very powerful adventurers to take care of the problem at its source. They succeeded, mostly. Now in the forest there's a lot of leftovers of these twisted creatures. So now the guard has been hiring people to basically go out there, kill them, bring back proof, to basically clean up that forest so that way it can be as good as it normally was.
Understood. We're not trying to
But-
solve the problem, just deal with the symptom, it sounds like.
Of course, the problem has been mostly solved. It's the symptoms that's the problem itself. But obviously, you will not be going to the forest immediately. In the outskirts, there is another druid that has currently taken residence ever since Lentaka's disappearance. Her name is Feather of the Wing. She's currently the one who's been researching this ailment and seems to have found some sort of solution. And she's also been the sort of guide, as well as the one who basically points a general direction. So I recommend consulting with her first. She will give you better advice than I, because, I'll be fair, I only know the minimal details since I'm retired. I don't go out there anymore.
Of course.
It's not quite my problem, but she will more than be happy to help you and also provide you with any necessities when going in there.
What sort of proof are you looking for as far as job well done?
Pieces of flesh. Nothing big, nothing specific, just...
Flesh? What are we fighting out there?
As I've said, creatures twisted by some sort of unknown ailment. They're not normal, to say the least.
I see.
Imagine the most typical animals being turned into monstrosities.
Bring back
Oh,
proof
dude,
of a
for
kill.
no pay.
Understood.
Go ahead.
What kind of payment are we looking at?
Depends on the source. Obviously, you alone will not be able to provide the best of proof, especially with a piece of flesh, which is where Feather of the Wing comes in. She will basically take whatever you found, document it appropriately, and then send you on your way. To me, specifically, because you're not going to get anywhere when you go to the barracks, so I'm the one who has to be delivering your proof.
So let me get this straight. We go on out there to this forest, we kill a bunch of critters, bring back parts of them to this Feather of the Wing. She gives us her approval, we take that approval to you, you give us your approval, and then we take that approval elsewhere?
No. I'm the one who will be taking that proof to get the others' approval. As I've said, you will not be able to make it even 5 feet into the barracks. Because
Well-
you're strangers. They don't know you. But my connection knows me. And if you want, I can tell you this, that I am a man of my word. I have no intention of...
You know what they say, it ain't about what you know, it's who you know. So let's get going, boys.
Yeah,
And ma'am.
guy.
I
Yes,
would have
miss.
done it for free, but purification medicine that is being paid for, I down
You
the
can-
rest of my drink.
Ma'am, good intentions
Something I'd like
aren't
to
gonna
do.
get you more of that ale or a comfy bed to sleep in.
You know, miss,
Exactly. This is.
But it-
I'm okay
I
with
must have to agree with your companion. However, your way of thinking will get some points when it comes to Cray Ashlight. Alright. Anyways, you may go.
Go stab things.
Yes.
So, which
So-
exit out of town
South.
will we most likely find this Feather of the Wing?
Let me go take you guys to Witchdoor City. It would be the East Gate.
East it is. Cammy,
Alright, let me go back.
lead the way with your little stubby legs. He ain't listening.
Alright.
What? Are you talking to me?
Cammy, you human divining rod, we go east.
Now my divining rod's in my bag, me mate.
We're looking for a young lass named Feather of the Wing. She's off to the east of the town.
Oh. Which way is east?
All right. Well,
I point
just
to
started
Cammy.
marching
Sun
toward- I started
rises in the
marching that
east.
direction.
I'll guide him.
No,
I'm already
You're,
making my way over.
the gnome's in
I
the
roll my
bag
eyes.
still.
Back.
Alright, is everyone ready?
Yep.
Tina's already making her way over.
Breath first.
So you guys will be walking your way out of the glittering bauble, out of the sea, and then outside. The guards
Walking,
themselves...
sure.
Yeah, lots of walking. You're not going to be finding any horses here, or at least not for you guys.
Oh no, I'm just not sure I can walk right now, but you know.
And let me take you guys to the hardwood entrance.
As we walk, I like to think I would start singing
Let
Sweet
me get some
Caroline.
appropriate music.
Sweet
Can I assume I've sobered up to some
Caroline.
extent by now?
Bum, bum, bum.
Can you what?
Can I assume that I've sobered up to some extent by now, or am I just still like incapable of doing anything?
Let me just play this.
Wobble,
You
good
really
times
feeling
never
sober
seem
enough.
so good.
Wait, are the people sober yet?
You're mostly sober
Yeah,
at
that's
this
okay,
point, I'd
yeah.
say. The walking helped.
No
I
such
have
Anyways,
not been walking.
so you guys start walking down the road outside of the city of Witchdor. This place isn't quite well traveled. In fact, it's probably the reason why is because of the issue that's in the forest. But as you guys are walking up ahead, you notice a campfire, as well as a small various assortments of various items, as well as a figure. As you guys get a little closer, you notice that this figure is a cat, or more specifically, a tabaxi. Grayish skin, white long hair, very, very tall ears. And she's currently like mumbling to herself as she's mixing some various ingredients in this pot. She doesn't seem to notice you guys.
You there, miss. Do you happen to be the feather of the wing?
She like perks up a bit, blinks a few times, and looks. Oh, adventures! Oh my! Oh my! Yes, yes, I am Feather of Wind.
Is it wing or
See.
wind?
It's wing. It's wing.
Wing.
Wind wing. It was related, you know. But anyways, adventures. So, seeing that you're here, I can only assume that you're here for kind of just like gestures to the forest in this general direction.
Yes, we're here on a purification mission of sorts.
A purification? Oh, are you clerics?
No, not
Yeah.
that I
Do you-
know of.
Or do you have?
do have-
do you specialize in cleansing alchemy?
I
No.
do. I am a cleric.
Oh, you're a
No,
cleric. That's good to
climb
know.
up
You're a
on-
healer gnome.
Well, that's good.
Athena's
That's good.
Shoulder.
How
And
potent
I
is
set
your
you
magic?
down. Immediately, I set you down.
He's just like,
It's like a
little
scrambling ferret. You just.
She just like walks over to healer gnome, crouches down, like, "Ooh, little one, how potent is your magic?"
I will climb up on her shoulder and I will whisper, "Very potent."
She like sniffs you a few times, like, "Ooh." It kind of like pushes you off, backs up. There we
I
go.
will use minor illusion to make Athena's chest grow bigger to prove my point.
I'm
She
within
just go-
my right to smite you.
She kind of just looks at you, then looks at all of you. Oh, you're not here for a cleansing mission, are you?
The word cleansing
Well-
can be very loosely defined, ma'am.
You do not look strong enough to cleanse this problem. I'm assuming it's more just a simple hunt, yes?
Yes.
That sounds more appropriate.
Let
Sounds
me
like my
guess.
kind of cleansing.
Let me guess. Kelvin sent you here, no?
Barkeep.
You never asked him his name.
Yeah, he
Yes,
did.
Kelvin Oskay, owner of the Glittering Bauble Tavern.
That would be the man. Big black sword hanging
Ah,
behind him.
Yes, of course. So you have met him. That makes perfect sense. Now, he often sends various adventurers to me for various missions involving the Heartwood Forest. Has he told you of the dangers?
Said we'd be handling corrupted creatures, nothing more than your average critter.
Corrupted is not the word appropriate, or maybe it is. Diseased, infected, mutated. Imagine a lizard growing various spines and claws that it normally would not have, and that it uses this with deadly efficiency. That is what this disease is going on. I call it. He just goes out, pulls out a bunch of various scattered papers and stuff, muttering to herself. After a little bit, feel like almost a minute of searching, she pulls it out, the paper like, aha, here we go. I refer to it as the gloom flesh disease. It is not a curse, but an actual disease that infects the flesh and then eats the mind and then completely turns you into something you're not.
Sounds horrible. Is it contagious?
Very, but not in ways you'd expect. You see, if one of these creatures were to bite you, the risk is minimal. However, some creatures have been transformed to be efficient carriers, where they inject this disease, put you in this little cocoon of flesh, then let you wait a long time to incubate before hatching into a monstrosity.
Don't get cocooned. Got it.
Of course. Look, I will say, since you're beginner adventurers, you will not be going very deep. A lot of these monsters tend to wander to the outskirts, which is where you will go. If you go any deeper, then I'm afraid that you will be lost.
In my head, I kind of think to myself, have we heard of anything like this before?
You want to roll history? Or something? Like, you can make a roll to see if you want to determine whatever this is.
Sure. History. Where's my history? It starts with an H.
15. Honestly, you don't really... You probably heard about a lot of weird things during your time and your travels, but really, this sort of thing is completely new to you. It could just be an Auseland thing, because there is the whole talk of ancient curses and artifacts and whatnot that still remain in this land from the old Arcane War. But whether this whole thing has a connection to that, it's news to you. Because, I mean, you are completely new to this land.
So that kind of sparks a thought, and I ask her, is this curse, is it left over from the last war, or is this something new that sprouted up afterwards?
I have thought about that several times. It is a possibility. There has been some cases where people have found old spells that turn land into a warping space between time, where you would walk in and you would never be able to leave. Such examples. Now, a magical disease, that could be something as well, but it's happened about 7 years ago when the first of these creatures was found in this forest. So, if it is caused by the old war, then I'm not sure why it took this long to manifest.
Perhaps somebody found something they shouldn't have and let it loose.
That is true. New and old artifacts are found every day, and these artifacts are remnants.
Damn,
and
magic
remnants
users.
do their own thing. Of course, just like all of you. Don't worry, I'm very good at detecting magic due to my specialty. I'm a druid, yes, but I have my ways. But don't worry, I know that you have nothing to do with what's going around out here. Or at least I hope not. But yes. And let's get back to the important part. So you're here to, I'm assuming, hunt a few of these monsters, obtain a sample, and then bring it back to me to be the judge, I presume?
That sounds like it is standard affair.
Oh, of course. So essentially, she goes over into her pack, she pulls out like 3 bottles, like glass bottles, and he just hands them to you. And find 3 different examples, essentially, from different creatures. Just cut off a small piece, put it in the jar, and bring it back to me. And I'll give it a quick look over, give it my approval, and then I'll send you on your way, I presume, to Kelvin.
That sounds fine by me.
Before you go on your way, I should perhaps give you something a little extra. She goes over to her bag again, pulls out a small pouch, and just gives it. It's like, well, go on, take it.
I take it.
If you were to look inside it, you see it's filled with a blue powder. Like a bright blue powder.
Damn blue powders.
That is an antidote made by yours truly. After some experimentation with the various fauna and, well, whatever it is that was in that forest, I found an appropriate cure with whatever that lays within that forest. So if any of you would get infected, and trust me, you will know. Black pulsing veins, itchiness, fever, that sort of thing. Inhale the powder immediately. If too much time passes, then you reach the point of no hope. And then it'll just become another problem.
Got it. They look sick.
I,
Snuff some powder. If not, kill them.
In that
If we're
pouch
in
is
a bad
enough for
place, snort
2
some powder.
doses.
Got it.
2 doses.
Yep.
Looks
Yeah,
around
so
us.
I'm probably
like-
used to that.
Just inhale half of it. If you inhale the whole thing, it will still be just as effective. If anything, you might have... you'll have some breathing issues for a little while.
Understood.
Good.
I tug on Paxy's leg and I say, "You should ask her if we can only get 2 samples." And I cast guidance.
What? Oh.
Only get 2 samples instead of 3.
Healer, I believe that for our first encounter with the locals, we should be as honest as possible. And I look up at her, and I kind of realize that she's wise beyond her years. I go, besides, I think she sees right through all of us.
I think it gives Paxi a nod of approval.
Of course, you did talk to Paxi about the whole thing, healer, and she did overhear it. She kind of just looks at you, like shaking her head slightly. Remember, I say 3 and not 4 or 5. 3 is the appropriate number in order to impress the the gods of Witchdoor, or at least the captain. She's very picky when it comes to who accepts her commissions.
No extra credit then. Understood.
I look at the Paxy and I
three
say,
is-
"Well, it never hurts to ask."
The 3 is the minimum. The minimum required in order to get their attention. Any more, and it would be the risk on your lives. Because you see, those creatures in there are no pushover. They are actually... Well, imagine something that you would normally fight, and then it's stronger than that. The creatures there are essentially enhanced versions of their normal selves.
Ma'am, may I ask for a 4th vial? As I believe the
Oh.
vials are not the important things, but the contents. Should we bring back 4, maybe we can get an extra good word in. And if I bring back only 3, you have yourself your clean vial to keep anyway.
Very well, very well. If you wish to do 4, then 4 as you wish, but no more. She goes over, pulls out one last of these bottles, and gives it to you. Any more, and it'll just be too much of a risk. Because as I said, you're hunting creatures on the outskirts. But if you go deeper, you start encountering things that are well above what you can handle.
I will bring you back at least 3 vials, and a clean one, or 4. We'll see.
Of course. Now do please come back. Because the thing is, I have to go into that forest right now, and then the last thing I need to worry about is 6 more problems.
Very well. Are there any sorts of specific threats we should look out for? Poison, traps?
Oh, traps? No. There are no traps not for. So the inhabitants that used to live here were mostly just animals. But the only things you have to worry about are, in fact, the inhabitants themselves, because they're no longer normal anymore. No poisons, most plant life there, they're not really toxic. I do recommend being careful of mushrooms, because you don't know what kind there are. But if you do see any bright blue mushrooms, particularly with pink spots on them, be sure to harvest a couple, because that's what I use to create my antidote.
Understood.
And if you find those, I'll be sure to pay you as compensation. That's very hard for me to find, so if you find any by some miracle, you will be compensated, as I said.
Bright blue mushrooms with pink spots. We'll keep an eye out.
Of course. Any more questions? Oh, actually, one more thing. If you find any corpses or leftovers from people who went into that forest, feel free to take whatever you wish, because I will be honest. No one's using that anymore.
The dead have no
Okay.
use for their belongings anymore.
Of course.
This is what we call a Monko moment.
Looting is fine as long as they belong dead, or at least, well, I'm a druid. I know the laws of nature, survival of the fittest. If you're dead, then the others can make use of whatever it is you have.
God wanted them to keep their stuff, they would have kept them alive.
Of course.
Well, anybody else have any questions? Are you? Man, a few words.
Is this sorry? Is this person? Sorry, I just got back. So like, is this person a
Druid,
alchemist person?
Tabaxi
Oh,
druid.
She's a Tabaxi druid. Basically, the barkeep told you guys to come here because, I mean, to hunt some weird mutated monsters. She will give you guys some pointers and what to do.
Okay, I would like to. Wait, what's her name?
Feather of the Wing.
Okay. Anyway,
That's all the syllables he has.
I'll just ask her. Can you fix my curse?
Curse? You are cursed.
Can't speak more than 5.
Can't speak more. Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Are you
I-
serious?
Is it though? Is it unfortunate? It could be a blessing by the gods. We don't know.
Well,
Fortunate
perhaps,
for
but-
him, maybe.
Perhaps, but he's not my companion, so whether it's a blessing or curse to all of you, it matters not to me. I can say honestly that curses are not my expertise. If it was a disease, perhaps I could do something. Otherwise, I recommend going to the royal family. And I'm assuming that's why you're here, right? To get their favor.
It is through a complicated means of favors and whatnot.
Yes, not.
We plan to have an audience with the court cleric of the castle.
It's the court cleric. She. This is the best, most direct route. If you have a curse that needs solved, she can check, but that's not what I can do. If you have a weird cough, I can do something about that. Other than that, I'm sorry.
Understood.
I don't want to glance by this. Now, are you serious? Is it more than 5 words or 5 syllables?
Or you passes out on the floor. Kami, you looked like you had something you wanted to say.
Mildly infuriated and confused as to where I am at and in what is going on. I was offered gold. I followed group to go find gold. Now
Oh.
there are scary things, so I am confused.
No,
We're dealing with scary things to get gold. Damn it.
Yes, exactly as the fair maiden said. You're looking for scary things. You kill scary things. You bring back scary thing, and scary thing turns into gold. It's like
Right.
alchemy, but through action.
Now,
Right, so I may be familiar with said alchemy. One, y'all have mistaken me for an adventurer. I am not an adventurer. Second of all,
so I'm gonna go up to
I am-
Kami with an insignificant pinch of blue powder, and I'm gonna grab his hand and put it in there. I'm gonna say, "Taste this. See if it'll make something good for you."
Oh, oh, fairy dust. Ah.
You just get a weird tingling sensation in your nose, and you feel your pores opening slightly. You feel refreshed.
We found cocaine.
Cocaine opens your pores. Note to self.
I will pull out the smallest dagger prison shank you guys have ever seen, hop on Kami's shoulders, and say, let's go get some specimens. And with my jagged teeth, I will point in the direction that we are to be headed.
Hey, that's a nice toothpick you got.
I'll look at Miss
She just wants
Feather.
you guys to just go this direction.
That direction. Understood. Thank you.
The map is not accurate in terms of way it is positioned, but whatever. I have to make do.
So you said to the left?
Yes. Or in this case, in the actual map, it would be east. But this is
We are immediately attacked on the road.
exactly roll initiative. I'm just kidding.
Are you serious? Will you sing us a song?
Still unconscious.
Is Mike? Did he? Oh,
Shall I
he
wait
says-
until he comes back, or should we get to the right to the next area?
We can
better
we
get
can
the
switch
next
maps. We'll see what we're dealing with.
All right. In that case, let me add this to game.
Are you serious? Is a man a few words?
So, as you guys walk into the forest, you just hear Feather the Wing shout, "Be careful and do not die, please." And
Guy?
as
Uh-oh.
you guys enter the forest, immediately you start feeling something off. Like, it just took one step into there, you already know that something is up with this place. Right, you guys get deeper, the trees get a little bit closer, and the place itself gets a little darker. And after about a couple minutes of walking, you end up here.
It's no wonder that pussy doesn't come in here. It's dangerous.
I'm in danger.
Kowalski analysis.
All right. Currently, most of the area is black. Is currently covered in the fog of war. For now.
I will take the lead, I guess.
So, what is your order?
I'll
Yeah,
go
I am
behind
back.
Athenia.
I'll be up near the front.
Is
Being the
is
fat
is
bastard that I
Athenia
am,
carrying a shield?
Yes.
I'll just like gesture ahead, like ladies first.
I'll cast light on my field. So that way I could perhaps see even further out.
All right.
As I recognize this
It's
is a
not-
dangerous area, I'll pull out my weapons and
It
walk
is a
along
danger.
with them.
If you guys are welcome to roll perception or something, like this place is pretty dark.
May I ride on Cammy's shoulders for most of the campaign?
you
Actually,
may.
Who
You may.
wants to roll perception?
I'll roll.
That's where I'll be.
Okay, just natural 20.
Okay, here we go.
It's that
So I'm not
cocaine.
gonna bother.
I'm gonna.
So
I'm gonna
you
preface
pause
this.
for a moment. Whatever the dust you took must have done something to your senses, because suddenly you could feel everything.
Kemi, what's your FIC?
So, normally in a forest like this, you would hear the crawling of ants, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds. You don't hear none of that here. This place is dead silent. No signs of wildlife, no anything. This place is a forest, but doesn't feel natural anymore.
This is as much vision as we have.
At
Nope.
the moment.
I'm just going to grab my little gnome friend on my shoulder, look him dead in the eyes, and go, nope, 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 nope. I'm too sober for this. Nope, 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 nope.
Does the light spell let me see anything past?
You know what? Let me get. You would reveal a bit more. You can see about this far from where you're standing.
About to the left and right of me.
Oh, yeah. Let me fix that as well. Let me reveal area.
Still do not see it. There we go.
You just see forest.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Well-
she has her light spell on. Would this be considered like a magical darkness or just like obscured by like
And it's just it's not a magical darkness. It's just obscured by just foliage and a thick canopy.
Okay.
Aha, what's the difference?
What? One is wood and the other is magic.
I can see through both.
I can see through wood.
So you can see through the darkness pretty easy. Then at this point, you're just using a light spell to be the MVP. So what do you
I
guys
have
do?
dark vision.
There are
Dark vision.
there are no animals, right? No like little woodland animals, nothing.
Nothing.
Birds.
I will say this right now, since Cammy rolled the natural 20, he has a sneaking suspicion that whatever animals that still remain here is either gone due to fleeing or whatever happened here took them.
Right, well, I
Nope,
guess we
nope,
continue.
nope, 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 nope,
Okay.
nope,
I
nope,
continue. So I'll move
So,
forward.
Cammy,
Cammy,
um,
please stop shaking me.
nope.
so I will just
Well.
nonchalantly
Reveal areas.
follow a step
If
behind
you're moving that
Athenia.
direction.
In fear of being left alone, I stay within 20 feet of Paxi. I am mortified of being left out here in this spooky place by myself. This is not a thing.
Oh, Paxi, well, aren't you courageous? So nonchalant.
I have no weapons yet. I'm just kind of casually walking behind you.
I
Reach
see.
and get
I just-
behind the elfies.
I just
have my
walk
dagger.
alongside Paxi, although you probably don't notice.
I have my dagger and my little itty bitty shield out on Cammy's shoulder.
All right, I will continue moving forward.
All right.
Is this like a cliff edge?
Well,
Or,
not
like, just a
really.
step down?
It's just like a step down. It's nothing that bad.
Okay. In that case, I'll move forward.
Moving forward. Let me do
Swallow. I feel like
That-
Swalbow's just like walking behind her. It's like, yeah, gotta punch something.
Make a
Yeah.
roll.
I'm just like walking around, no one even notices me because I'm like at your knees.
I mean, it's not as bad as Healer, who's a foot tall.
he, like,
Uh,
he looks smaller to me than I do to you. Like,
how do
Yeah.
how do these logs look? Are they like dry or wet and rotted?
They're kind of dry. They're like they've been on the ground for a long time, so either they broke off and just got left there.
I look at Athenia and say, "Ma'am, how many battles have you seen in your times?" Not judgmental. This is just a question.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
How many combat encounters have you seen?
A few of my time back where I'm from, but nothing too crazy or eerie, I'd say. But you must keep your chin up.
Well, let me pose this to you. Should I light one of these logs on fire, we may garner the attention of the things that we are hunting, and they will come to us.
I could make it look like there's a snack on that
Well,
log
that
as
is
well.
an option. I would like not to burn down this entire forest, as I currently, as I point to my shield, have something that can grab attention quite easily.
That is a good point. Fair point. Very well.
We should use Athena as bait.
I just
Yeah, you
I
gotta-
give Healer a kind of a look.
That's right. Make her mana pools bigger again and send her off into the forest by herself.
I do
I
not
will
believe I
smite
can
you.
conjure an odor.
you
So,
know, I bet
we-
these
we-
things
we
were trying to
continue.
tap if they saw a child.
We
I
continue.
At
could
this
make
point,
a
I
loud
ignore it.
noise.
I go
I
out
once
here.
fought off a squirrel who was trying to eat all of our birdseed.
I'm
Me
once
and
met a
Warrior Gnome.
faraway.
Really did a number.
Just notice that the forest opens up slightly into a clearing.
I
Wait a
too,
minute.
gnome, has once met
But
a
also
barmaid
sees-
that was like a squirrel.
Scattered around the place is a lot of various
Yeah, those squirrels are no joke.
piles of
I turn back to Cammy and ask,
Basically-
Cammy,
that matter.
you know that powder I gave you? We're looking for blue mushrooms with pink spots. Why don't you see if you can find some? They'll give us money, and you can make some better beer.
So what can we see?
You just see like an open clearing with a couple of piles of dead plant matter scattered around the place.
Dead.
I tell Cammy where I normally see mushrooms growing and give him guidance if he's gonna look.
So
You rolled
that
a natural one.
that's for nature, not investigation.
That's still a natural one done.
That is true. You
Sounds like he's coming
You're
off
kinda-
the high.
kind of just look. You're just like, yeah, trees. This must be a forest. Or is it?
He's
Must be a
jonesing for
forest.
he's jonesing for another hit is what he's doing.
Hey, you guys, got any more?
So what do you
of
guys
that,
do? This place is dead silent to the point where you guys can hear your own heartbeat.
All right, I'm going to clank against my shield with my sword. Just to,
Crit loud and sound.
yeah, see if I hear an echo, see if I hear anything moving or whatnot.
You clink. There is no echo, so there's a loud clanging noise coming from your sword and shield. After a few moments, I'd say you roll perception.
Perception, okay. 17.
After a few seconds, you heard some rustling noise come from this direction.
I point my sword over in that direction and
Actually, I should probably use this direction.
yeah. Can I cross over through here?
Yes, you
What is
can.
that?
That is
Okay.
just like just small stream or something. It's a
Got it,
review
okay.
area. Kind of see a bunch of massive, various dead foliage piles of like sticks and leaves and things on the ground.
Got
But
it.
we notice that one pile is a little bit bigger than the others.
Where at?
Right here.
Okay. I want to go over to that pile.
And I grab Athenia by the. Do I see this as well? This pile?
Yes, you
mana
do.
pools?
Can I grab Athenia by the shoulder and kind of like wait?
I mean, will you be able to do that?
I haven't gotten that close yet. Maybe 15, 10 feet away.
And I said, "What's the plan here? Assume there's a critter under there."
Oh, of course, get its attention, and I have you people.
There's
And
something under there, I'll smack it.
I look at her shield. It's already lit up like the sun, and I go, "Better idea." And I cast Create Bonfire on the pile of leaves.
Time to make. So that's what's the save for that?
Dex 13.
Oh boy.
I wonder if there's a creature there.
Can
Must
you
be the
spot the
grass.
creature?
All right, that's a fail. How much damage is that?
The leaves take damage.
1!
Nice.
Yes!
So here's what happens. You just create a very puny fire on there. But the moment you do that, the pile starts shaking violently, and then you hear this weird, ungodly screeching noise.
I look
And
at
suddenly
Athena.
the leaves
I think I made it mad.
shake off. And hold on.
At the sound of this noise,
Oh,
Oh,
Something
fuck.
that's a lot bigger than I thought it'd be.
Erupting from the pile is a weird four-legged furry creature, but with the head of an owl. But you notice that this creature has various pieces of flesh hanging off it, except for something that's coming out of the side of his head. It looks like a protrusion, like a tumor. And then sliding out of it is a long tentacle ending in a long, bony spine. Roll for initiative.
That looks like corruption.
I'm gonna praise Carl and run the fuck away. Initiative.
Oh man, these are really low rolls.
Yeah.
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
Oh my goodness. Wait, what?
Oh.
Why do none of us have any modifiers?
Welcome to level 3!
Wow. Even so, that's 6 of us rolled initiative, and the highest we got was 10. That's pretty bad.
All right, so first on the list, Cammy, what'd you roll?
10?
I rolled an 8.
8.
Oh, Cammy, sorry.
All right, Patsy.
10.
All right, Swolbo.
9.
And then Athenia.
8.
Oh, who has a higher dex between Cammy and you? I
We
don't
both
know.
have we both have 0 modifier.
Well, yes, you guys will work it out for yourself. Let's see, healer gnome.
I rolled a 4 plus 3.
So 7.
Jesus.
So many low.
Yeah,
I guess
that's.
we're all rolling d10.
This,
Are
this
you
might
are
be
you
like the
serious? What'd you
worst-
roll?
Huh?
I think you
Are you
forgot me.
serious?
It's just
Oh,
one
8.
owl. It should be
I
fine.
also got 8.
Oh, 8. Holy shit, guys!
This might actually be like the worst total party initiative roll I've ever seen.
All
This is
right,
horrendous.
and then the owl there.
I have a 14 dexterity, I guess. I don't know if
Okay,
that matters.
so let me go to object
Alpha
intelligence.
14.
Yeah, you go before.
Because of your piss
Cammy
poor
and-
initiative, this dude goes first.
Neat
Maybe
balls.
we want him to go first.
So let's see. Here's what this thing's
Uh-oh.
gonna do.
Uh-oh.
Athenia, because you have the bright shiny shield, you're the one who's going to be targeted first. So you see this long tentacles waving in the air, stops, aims at you, and then shoots out. Let me make a roll.
Not the guy that lit him on fire. It's fine. It's cool, guys.
What's your AC?
18.
What the shit?
Barely misses.
He's a paladin.
So
Paladin with a
you see this
shield.
thing shoots out faster than you blink, strikes your shield with a loud clang, and then immediately retracts to it. And this thing does not look happy at the fact that it didn't do anything. So, 5, 10. It's not going to rear back with its long claws, and it's going to slash you. That's going to hit.
Uh-oh.
So you... Let me pull up.
What does this do? I have spells. Is that a bonus
Yes,
action?
might.
I don't know if that's a bonus action. Let's see.
You are going to take...
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a bonus action.
You
Fuck,
take
not
7
reaction.
slashing damage.
Ouch. Okay.
And that's its turn.
What a bitch. Fair enough.
Alright, next on the initiative order is Paxi.
I'll say, Miss Morning, it's time to go to work. And I'll hold my hand out to the side and summon my weapon, a gleaming 6 foot tall spear, and I will stab this dude.
And as you're about to stab, you suddenly hear her speak in your mind. Whoa, you're going to have me stabbed that ugly? You better be cleaning me after this. 14. Let's see. Meets it, beats it.
Hey, 13 damage.
Jesus!
Holy shit.
Morning, don't
All
fuck
right.
around.
Okay, you hit it. This thing lets out another ungodly screech. And it starts looking at you kind of pissed. And this tentacle looks real primed to impale you.
I say,
a not
bring it
sexy
on,
way.
double ugly.
Alright, if that's all you can do, Swolbo, you are next.
Oh, wait, can I step back to about near?
Just so you know, if you step past this, the thing might attack you.
I had range. I'm here.
Oh,
Just-
you saw this thing attack from range.
oh,
Hold on.
so okay then. I'll just step back one pace.
Yeah. You have it's not going to be safe though. Just going to say that. Alright,
It's fine.
Swolbo, you are next.
Gods be with me, I rage.
Oh God, you're. I forgot
God
about
be
that.
with you.
I'm what? Yes.
You just see this. His arms get bigger and he starts moving like a gorilla or some shit.
Just his arms. Nothing else gets bigger.
He's just pumping
Alright.
air into them. He's
Uh,
just pumping air.
Where is... Oh,
Kia secondo.
Alright, let's see.
I'm Hans
here.
and I'm
Alright,
Franz, and
first,
we're going to
I will
pump it
attack
up.
recklessly with my battle axe. I'm assuming a 17 will hit.
It's definitely hits. The 8 and the 9 would have missed.
8, what?
What?
That's
Doesn't
his
roll pretty
damage.
nice.
That's his 2
What?
damage. Wait.
Where do you see an 8? What?
What 8?
You said
It's
8.
Oh.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
Alright,
11.
that's 11. Oh, wait, sorry, that's 11, plus 2 radiant damage.
How much is that? Oh my
13.
god, 13.
Wait,
Okay,
radiant?
13.
Holy
Where?
Yes, that's from my barbarian path. Wait, no, wait, that's... Wait, hold on, sorry. That's... Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's... Wait...
Dylan, behold the power of 6 idiots.
Oh, wait,
It's
no,
okay,
no,
the
sorry,
first encounter's
it's...
always the easiest.
Oh, wait, sorry, it's 11 plus 1d6 plus 1 radiant. Alright, it's 15 damage for the first attack.
What the f-
Okay.
Alright. Yes, then I swing with the weapon in my other hand. Is this one also an advantage, actually?
If you did
Uh,
reckless, I...
If you do reckless, it is.
Yeah, reckless is for both things. Okay.
Yeah, for
Yes.
all your hits.
Alright, 18.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Alright, that's... Okay, 1 damage.
I'll take it.
Only
Alright.
one arm got really buff.
Is that it?
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Who's next to kill this thing? It's a tie between Cami, Athenia, and Aryu.
Ryu goes before us because of the Dex mob.
Alright,
Yeah.
Aryu, you go first between this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You'll have advantage.
Question. So I have 2 daggers. Am I able to attack with both?
Are you a rogue?
With a regular attack and your bonus action, you should be.
Yeah.
You only can proc sneak attack
Oh,
once, though.
gotcha.
Yeah, you only proc sneak attack once, and then the second one doesn't get your dex mod added to the damage.
Oh, you can. Oh, actually, no. Does it?
It's
Nah,
not
you
Not require
supposed
a
to.
feat.
Wait, why would
Normally
would my
require a
dex
feat.
Yeah, never
Why
mind.
would
that,
my
it
deck-
doesn't.
get added?
To the
That's
first
just
hit? Because
that's how a
in-
normal weapon attack goes. You do like 1d20 plus a mod, and then the damage is, a dice plus mod. The second attack doesn't get the mod though.
Gotcha. Wait, so I can't attack with both weapons though?
You
You
can,
can
you just
attack
don't get
with
the
both
bonus for the
weapons.
second.
Yes.
As a bonus action, gotcha. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
just use my normal action first with the sneak attack, and I'll go right for under its wing. Oh wait, I have to do an attack roll, right? Where is my thing? There it is.
Yeah, I
So
mean, if
the
you wanna,
23 hit.
Yeah, you get to roll that with advantage as well, so you can roll again and see if it's a crit.
Third.
Nah,
No,
it
does
hits
not.
though. You get your sneak attack.
Okay, D4 plus 2 plus... Wait, D4 plus 2 plus 2D6. Math.
12.
12 damage. This thing is not looking good. It went from being
And
pissed
I
off
will
by
use-
fire and now it's getting shredded.
I will use my second attack as the bonus action. Does 20... Oh wait,
The
so yeah,
21
does the
hits.
21 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so this it's just a normal D4 then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Alright. Is that your turn? This thing is... You're just cutting into this thing as well.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of very open, gaping wounds on this thing now.
I don't like that word.
I didn't
That
think
sounded
you're
good,
someone who
buddy.
didn't like the word wounds.
Yeah, I won't like getting hurt.
no, he doesn't like the word thing.
Unfortunate.
Alright.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Now it's a tie between Athenia and Kami.
I'm a 0
mean,
dex.
I'm also 0 dex, so you can go first if you like.
Do either of you have 11 dex?
No.
Oh, I do have 11 dex.
Oh, then it would be you.
All right, Athenia,
Okay.
you go.
If I move over to right here, would that be advantage?
Where?
Right here.
You know, sure.
Okay. I'll make a swing with my longsword.
23 is a hit.
23. Damn it. Wait. What is that? Oh, that's a 19 plus 4. Got it. Okay. That'll be 8 damage.
Is that it?
And yep, that's my turn.
Oh, that's...
You guys with your... I'm not about to smite that thing. That's a spell slot that can be used later.
All right, you
That's an
deal
unholy
a deep
creature. Shouldn't
cut
you-
into
shouldn't
this
you take care
thing.
of
It's
it?
getting very pissed off. Kami, what does the non-adventurer do?
Well, the non-adventurer looks around and tries to hold back shitting his pants in the face of giant said creature with tentacles. He has seen enough
Tentacle. Singular.
imported content to know where this is going.
Oh my god.
Who goes next? Who hasn't gone yet outside of the gnome?
The
That's
gnome.
it.
It's just
Nope.
it, the gnome.
That would be the...
Well-
Yep.
So I look at the gnome and I look at his little pointy stick and well, guess it's up to you, little buddy. And I grab his little stick and I pull my canister out of my bag and I go, all right, tits, spray mode, and go and put potent poison on his pointy stick, so he gets an additional 2d8 if he hits with.
Jesus, that's a lot of
Additional
shit.
2d8. Jesus Christ.
All right, is that your turn?
My turn is then I pick up the gnome and set him in front of me in what I would consider to be this position and say, I can either kick the baby or you can run like hell. Let's find out.
All right. Healer gnome, your turn.
Well, I don't want to go anywhere near that owl either, so I will cast Bless.
What a waste of a spell.
I will
Can I-
cast Bless on
I kick the
Artemis, Swole, and can I reach RU? Yeah. Yeah, so I will cast Bless on them. So you guys get an extra D4 to all attacks.
Nice.
Attack
And then,
rolls or damage rolls?
Attack.
Attack rolls.
Not,
Okay, that's
not
what I thought.
damage.
It saves
And then,
them.
if I can, as a bonus action, can I taste whatever was sprayed on my dagger?
No.
You'd have to make a
Go
DC
ahead.
14 con save. That's for sure.
Okay.
I have to make a DC 14 con save.
Yes.
That's what that's what it says in the potent poison.
And
Alright.
then there were 5.
Con save.
Wait,
plus
no, don't
3.
kill off the guy who can bring me back to
Natural,
life.
natural 20, 23
Oh,
total.
Here's what happens. You see him put this weird thing on there, and you start to taste it, and kind of like, they just like, tangy. Not you. Apparently, whatever it is, you have built up in a very potent immunity. You do not take any damage from where the hell it is that Kami made.
I am immune to iocane powder.
Is this Baji 2.0?
I guess so. All right. I'm done with my turn.
Top of the initiative, Owlbear. You know, everyone's been hurting it, but Paxi kind of hurt the most.
I'm in
right now, it kind of has
danger.
this. Yes. So let me roll the hit.
How bad does this thing look at this point?
It's pretty hurt. It's not. Well, it's getting close to bloodied.
Oh, got it.
All right. What's your AC?
11. Normal?
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Cool.
So this tentacle's going to shoot out and impale you right in the, not the chest, but let me see how much damage it does. It is going to do That's that's max damage.
Fantastic.
You take 16
Uh-oh.
piercing damage.
Yeah. So I take some of that. I
Question.
take some of that blood. Where did he hit me?
Close to the chest, not the heart, but
All
you
right.
barely miss some of your vital
So
organs. but it
so
hits you hard.
I take some of the blood on my fingers and I just kind of look at it and smear it around. I go, friend, that was a bad move. And I cast Hellish Rebuke. 13 dex, please.
All right.
Sure that every boss Dane goes against has a +10 to every Constitution saving throw.
13 dex. It
Mhm.
fails.
Neat
Barely.
balls. You take 19 points of fire damage.
Jesus
As I
Christ,
light your face on fire!
That's a good roll that you got there.
That was a terrible roll.
Terrible? How much is the
It's-
nine and a 1.
Oh.
9
That's
and
a-
a 1.
That's
Okay,
above average.
that's average.
No, above
But
average.
it's the one that made the number red.
Yeah.
This
How-
thing's pissed.
How you feeling now,
like,
sucker?
Bad, but it's gonna go for you. 5,
Fuck!
10. Attack of opportunity from Swolbo.
Hell yeah.
Good luck,
Well,
kids.
also me, right?
Paxi out.
Put a +4 on
That's
that
a hit.
too.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
8 damage.
Please kill it before I die.
How do you want to do this?
Yes!
Hell yeah. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I just grabbed the, as he's running away, I just grabbed the battle axe right in the ass. Don't run away from me.
Right in the nuggets.
So what happened basically is this thing hit you with a tentacle. It got a face full of fire to the point where it basically lost whatever remains of his feathers on his face. It got pissed. It started charging you. Then it stops and notices like basically all of its guts have spilled out behind it.
Oh.
And then it just collapses to the ground. The tentacle's still in the air, twitching. He aims itself at Paxi, but then eventually collapses on the ground as well. And it's gone.
How are you feeling there, champ?
I walk over to the corpse and I pull out a vial and I shove it into the corpse and just like I shove it into the pile of ichor on the ground and pull it out, and whatever is like whatever got into the vial is in there, and I cork it, and with whatever residual hellish rebuke I have, I would like to just kind of clean my hand off and like burn it clean.
Yeah, you have a. This thing smells foul. Like it smells like death. Not just like freshly killed, but it's been dead for quite a
And
while.
I hold it up and I go, "That's one."
How much
Can I
HP
roll,
are you
can I
missing
roll
there,
a
buddy?
medical check to see if I thought it was undead or not?
And I look at Athenia
What
and
do
I
you wanna
go,
I want to roll to see if I think it's undead or not.
roll? What would you roll for that?
I guess medicine, maybe?
Go ahead.
That's what I would think.
Nature or medicine?
Uh,
I
I
rolled
mean,
a 13 on medicine.
undeath is like a magical kind of thing, but since you rolled 13 on medicine, basically this thing seems like it's been both dead and not at the same time.
Alright,
Like
you know what? Use Divine Sense. It tells me, I know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
You detect
Is that one of them?
nothing. I mean, it's fully dead now, so I guess you can't really tell
Fair enough.
anymore. Well,
Alright, but I
actually,
detect nothing.
you detect a fading source of undeath coming from it.
Is anyone hurt?
I can do some healing.
Uh,
I don't need it, but I can do healing.
I look around. Does this look like some place that we could spend an hour or half an hour just kind of set up a little picnic?
I mean,
Alternatively, I can full heal you right now at no cost. How much HP are you missing, Bane? Or Paxi?
On a scaling of 0 to 24, I'm at an 8.
Alright, you're full healed.
Neat balls.
I give you healing hands and lay on hands. So 3, you were
Well, I
missing
guess a
16.
healer gnome is not necessary.
Mr. DM man,
Yes.
does this undead creature still have its talons intact?
The talons look kind of chipped, but they still there.
I will go ahead and cut off one of the owl's foot.
But before he does
If I
that,
can do that.
can I
yeah.
issue a warning to him and say, like, how are you? They said that this disease was highly contagious, and I kind of point to the burned off blood that I have on my hand. Like, you need some cleansing after you touch that, boy.
I respond with my 5 syllables. Death is easy way out.
What?
I will. I want to go to Ryu.
Make a survival check
Oh, me?
if you're going to actually cut off the foot.
Yeah, I will.
I want to give Ryu guidance before he does that.
Okay, thank you.
Tell him to cut with the
grain.
with the grain.
So that's a D4, right?
It's a D4.
13 total.
People have done better jobs, but so this may not be your expertise, but you managed to cut off the foot. As you cut it off, this pitch black blood starts pouring out of the stump, and you have this large paw in your hands that smells awful. And it's still dripping with black blood.
Please don't eat it.
Yeah. No, I'm not eating it. What? I'm a normal dragonborn. What the heck? Kind of weird.
Can
I wanna
I
smell
can I summon a bonfire next to RU and just say, why don't you toast that thing a little bit to clean it?
it. I'll. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and cauterize the wound,
Okay.
so that at least it stops dripping blood into the environment.
Okay.
Also, another thing, it feels cold.
Wait a minute, what does that mean?
The foot, it's cold. It's not
The
warm.
temperature is not warm.
I mean, it's a hollow foot, so I mean,
Nah.
what was I
It's quite
saying?
the opposite.
Oh yeah, so we'll cauterize the wound.
I believe cold is the absence of heat.
Actually, Athena, you said you cast detect what?
I cast what's it called? Where is it?
Like good and evil, right?
Divine Sense.
Oh, divine sense. So you
So
know how
I-
you
yeah.
detected a fading sense of undeath from it.
Yeah.
You notice that even though it's fading, you have whatever you're sensing. You notice that the thing is not wholly undead. Like it's not completely undead.
Isn't that what
Hey,
an undead is?
What does that
Half dead, half
mean?
alive.
it's not fully undead, meaning it's partially undead. Therefore, chances are good some necrotic bullshit's going on.
Alright, thank you.
I
So
I
will
climb
go-
back up on Cammy's shoulders and I say, "Who did he think he was?"
Too spook. Too spook. Too soon. Too spook.
Too spoopy.
Too spoopy. I do, however, have an extra 1 hour 2d8 vial of poison out of the one spell. Whenever I cast it, I get 2 vials. So one of them goes to the gnome, healer gnome. I have another one that I am offering to the party that is a toxin they can apply to a physical weapon to get an additional 2d8.
That does not sound like a fair fight, and I will not partake in it.
Fucking paladins.
Well,
Uh,
Wait,
I'll,
what?
I'll take a look at my weapon and say, Morning, what do you think about an extra bite?
Oh, are you saying I'm not good enough for you by myself?
Cammy,
She
you
says
said that-
no.
You said that only lasts an
I-
hour.
Yeah, 60 minutes.
I believe Paxi is trying to rest because he gets tired easily.
Something like that.
Hmm. Okay, I tried.
You also, by the way, Paxi, you hear your spears speak again. She then says, also, that ugly has another ugly coming out of it.
You saw that too, huh? Anything you ever
Of
seen in your days?
course not. But then again, not many have handled me.
Would you say that
Is he
this is
speaking
more of
inside
a...
of his mind? Sorry.
I'm talking out loud, but...
Oh.
Or am I? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say you probably are.
Does this look more like a possession or like an like a parasite sort of thing?
What? What are you taking me for? You know, I'm just a weapon. I just cut things. But
Okay.
who knows? Maybe. You want
Does,
to get a closer look? You are the one
yes.
with
So
eyes.
does the tentacle look like it was another creature completely, aside from the owl bear, or does it look like
What?
it grew out of that?
You want to roll investigation?
Yeah, I do. Because I'm really good at it.
14. You're kind of looking at it, and the way this thing is connected to the owlbear's head, it looks like it grew out of the owlbear. But you've also noticed that its texture is completely different from the rest of the body. While the rest of its body is kind of like sickly gray, rotting in some places, this flesh looks kind of newly grown, like it's almost orangish in color compared to the gray, like the sickly gray.
Would I know what a parasitic growth is?
You probably might know parasites like worms people would get if they drink water they're not supposed to, but you can roll nature.
Sure.
You don't know.
Nope.
You're not sure. This is not your area of expertise. Maybe other people might know, but
Whoa.
not you. You just know that whatever that thing is attached to
That-
this owl bear, it grew out of it.
I go,
I
you know,
have studied a bit of magic in my time.
Me no stabby stab.
can
And
I
am
Good on
a
you.
doctor of
can I
medicine.
use the vial and get a second sample? Like the one was all the guts that came out of the owlbear, but the second one I specifically want to get of this tentacle. Noticing that it's a different
piece of this
thing.
tentacle?
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
What am I
Yeah,
doing?
you can just. I mean, if you're just trying to cut off a piece, then it doesn't really take anything. But if you want to try and get something very specific, like the spine, which will not fit in the vial.
Well, I'm asking like, so the first time I got like a vial of the owlbear's rotted guts,
Yes.
and this time I
Yes.
specifically want to get this
The
tentacle,
flesh.
pieces of this tentacle thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Would that
Then yeah, it would take no rolls. You can just cut it out.
okay? Would this count as
I
2
wouldn't.
vials, or am I thinking like, oh, this is what she wants, and would try and I would have to like dump out what I already collected?
Well, what do you think?
I have a feeling this is what she's looking for.
Perhaps.
You know what? She didn't specify. I'm gonna take a second sample and
So,
make it part of the tentacle.
so as you cut into the tentacle, you notice the flesh starts twitching a little bit, but it doesn't react beyond that.
I'm gonna watch it really close. If that thing twitches again, I'm lighting this whole thing on fire.
Brewmaster,
Do I get my sample?
you are
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You have your tentacle sample.
the Brewmaster. You're used to seeing things grow, like such as bacteria and fermentation and such. Correct?
Do you know what bacteria is?
He knows what a mute button is, that's for sure.
I will fucking snap Paxy's legs like a bag of Doritos.
God.
But yes, I do, sir, know of the alchemical properties and or of around bacteria fermentation and or alchemy.
Will you come take a look at this growth on this owl's head?
sure is dead, right?
Yes, it's dead.
Probably.
I kind of give it the
Okay.
side eye and I say, maybe.
I will
I
cast-
I pick up my battle axe and just slash through the neck again. Don't worry, it's definitely dead.
You
I'll
pull out
cast-
your axe, and black blood just drips from the blade.
I'll cast Enhance Ability, and I'll give him Fox's Cunning, which gives him advantage on intelligence checks.
So is this intelligence or is this investigation or nature?
Which one do you want to roll?
I would rather roll nature.
All right, then roll nature. And since I think nature falls,
intelligence.
which is advantage, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
18.
18.
So what exactly were you trying to figure out?
If this thing is or and is not of its species and or biologically a weapon of
So-
mass destruction.
Okay, so whatever this tentacle is, you're kind of looking at it closely and the way it's connected to the owlbear. This tentacle is essentially the owlbear, but not. It's like something basically hooked itself to the creature and then made some sort of growth that's separate from it. Which is why
Right.
the tentacle looks like it's made of living flesh while the owlbear itself is dead.
So I will try to relay this information to the best of my ability.
So
This
it's-
thing was raped by a centipede, and now the centipede lives inside the owlbear. I digress.
How's that for your lore? Anyway,
That works, I guess. In a very
Fucked up sense.
yes.
Like Men in Black.
I say, gentlemen and ma'am, we have 2 more samples to gather.
Let's be on our merry way, shall we?
Let's
So you
find some more
guys are going
things
to
to
continue
stab.
on?
Yes, we will continue onwards.
Are we not done here?
Carry on my wayward.
This is only the first of 3.
If we are leaving, I am going to burn this body to nothing but ash with create bonfire.
No
Alright.
short rest or yes short rest?
You want a short rest here?
No, I do not.
Nope.
Smart.
Uh,
Alright, so you're going to create bonfire?
yeah, and as it's burning, I'll say, Swobo, you might want to clean that axe of yours.
So as you light the thing on fire,
Wait, do not
Use-
burn this yet.
So somebody still has poison then from Cammy, if no short rest.
so do you light it on fire?
I was told not to. What's up?
Move out of the way.
Okay. I will move back. Cammy. No. Healer.
I'm attached to Cammy. I climb back on Cammy's shoulders.
I mean, I said that to everybody. Move out of the way.
Swobo, Athenia.
I'll move right over here.
Okay, are you telling us to just not be near it for the fire, or?
Now light this up.
Light what up?
Number.
The corpse.
You light it on fire?
No, you.
Oh,
would-
you.
I think he was just telling us
Oh,
not to
oh.
stand next to it while you lit it on fire.
Okay, I guess. Okay, out of
Sorry.
character. Yes, I'm just concerned about the the fumes.
Okay, cool. Good looking out. I light it on fire.
I thought you
So,
could only say
It gets
5
lit on
syllables.
fire, and after a few seconds of it basically burning, you start seeing the tentacle start thrashing violently.
Oh, good call. See.
It's
Can't
like
be-
long spine moving to and fro, striking around the air, tearing out large pieces of ground. But then after a few seconds, it just falls onto the owlbear, and it
Can-
just goes still.
Can I light it on fire again? God.
When the fire eventually dies down, there's just nothing but a smoking corpse, just bone and bone.
Note to self. Double fire. Make him dead.
Actually, I'll just go ahead and it's gone. If, funny enough, though, the surrounding forest does not also light on fire, except for maybe a few leaves got lit.
It's
Well, that's
magic fire though.
That is true, but I mean, it's still fire. Like how
No.
Fireball can light other shit on fire.
Nah, it's magic fire.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my bad.
So what do you guys do now? Want to move on?
I would like to continue onward. I guess
Let's
we
find
can
some
go.
more things to stab.
Either we can go north, or we can go. Well, okay, I don't know what direction this is. I guess going up is south, and where I'm
This is
going is
east.
west.
East.
Okay. All right. Whatever. It's fine.
I make an attempt to buck Cammy to see if I can get him to get up next to RU.
What? Wait, what are you doing?
Well,
to me?
I was just curious about this 5-word thing. Is it 5 words or 5 syllables?
5 syllables. Yes.
And what resets your ability to talk? Is it somebody else talking, or is it like a...
That is correct, yes.
Can you sing us a song?
No,
Damn, this
I
motherfucker
cannot
put
do.
so much thought into this. Nice job, dude.
Are you serious? Is 5 syllables.
You are the strangest man I have ever met. Are you serious?
I am a dragon.
Very good. And
Uh,
I will try and spur Cammy to leave that weirdo behind.
So you guys are going on?
Yeah,
yeah,
we're moving on.
looking for more things
Alright,
to
I'll move you to the next map.
kill and burn.
So you guys are going down the forest. The area starts to open up a little bit more. And the area gets a little bit lighter as well, but it's still fairly dark.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa. There's 2 of those weirdos now.
There's only one way to go, right?
Oh, did I accidentally copy 2? Oops.
There are 2 Arus and no Swolbos.
Who got Cammy's poison?
I think it expired.
No, we didn't take a short rest.
Oh.
But who got poisoned?
Well,
No,
I
I got
mean,
No,
poisoned.
he offered up poison on a weapon. Do you want it?
Swolbo,
Oh, no,
do you want it?
I guess so. Sure.
there you go. You get an
I don't
extra
really
two-
need it, but no
2d8.
one else is taking it, so.
It's what, 2d8?
Is that just a
Yeah.
feat?
2d8. Well, I could do it. What's the limitation on it? Hold on a second. So poison or potent poison. When a creature takes damage from a weapon and/or an inanimate object that I have coded as in weapon and/or inanimate ammunition, that creature must succeed on a DC 14 con save and/or take 2d8 of poison damage. This happens up to 2 times within an hour. So I can craft 2 of them within a 1-hour period of time, and I can do it twice per short rest.
Does the poison
Granted.
last just once?
The poison, no, it's up to as many hits as fits in the hour period of time, to my understanding. But here's the thing, is I don't attack.
There.
I am a support character. So,
Alright. I will move. I guess the only way to go is up to these trees.
Yeah.
So you go up.
And you wasted one of your poisons on me, which is my favorite part.
Remember, I
Well, I
do
want-
have the light spell.
well, next time I'll kick you as a bait, like, Ike, just hold the dagger out, and I'll just projectile you.
Okay.
This place is still just as
Oh.
silent as the other.
Does it look just as dead, or it looks a little more alive?
Not. It doesn't really feel that much different. Slightly lighter, but it's still empty.
What was that?
Yeah, I
Wrong
saw it.
button.
Turn order. Oh no.
I saw a turn order.
What?
Uh-oh.
It's-
I didn't come to this game for combat.
Something happens in this game other than combat.
No. Who told you that?
Bad puns.
Alright, moving on.
Alright,
Actually,
yeah.
I would. Could I look around for blue mushrooms
For
with pink
mushrooms?
spots?
Do you want to roll perception, investigation?
They're both equally bad. Oh, Cammy rolled, I guess.
So
16.
you look around. You do see like a few mushrooms in this area, but all of them are like brown and like one black. But you don't
like
see
to-
any.
I'd like to
blue
remind
ones.
Cammy of what it's supposed to look like and cast guidance if I can.
That was before the roll.
It's before or after.
What?
Guidance. Touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4, add the number roll. They can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
I mean,
Right.
up to
You have
the
to touch.
DM,
You have to
up
touch him before he makes the roll, though.
Well, I'm riding him,
This is
so I'll let the DM roll.
No, I
just
mean,
use
sure.
the-
I mean, he got the resolve. We can roll afterwards to enhance it. The D4.
I mean, it just comes down to how the DM wants to do it, right?
Yeah, he said Dylan gave
Do
me
it.
approval.
D4.
I rolled a 2.
If I thought it was that
18.
important, I don't think I would add it.
18.
18. No, that would be 19.
19. Does anything change?
You still don't think that there's any such mushrooms in this area, but with that higher of a roll, you kind of know that this environment seems pretty appropriate for mushrooms. So there's a good chance you might find them a little further in.
No dick shroom here. You guys got any more of that smelly good stuff?
No.
Oh,
God.
That's
I must
okay.
apologize,
Don't do
but you
homes.
may not have any more of it.
So what do you guys do?
Continue onwards, I guess, because they did their looking. Go up here.
You see a lot of trees
Okay.
in front of you, as well as a decent sized steep hill to your guys' left. Which I should probably reveal. Up.
A steep hill to where?
I accidentally closed the tab. Let me fix that real quick.
Oh,
Here we go. Reveal area.
Apparently, he has to say exactly 5. You can't say any fewer. Oh, this is a steep hill. Oh, I see. This falls downwards.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How steep would you say? Like enough to cause fall damage and trip?
Yes.
Okay, shit. You can't go down here.
You can see a path down here if you were to
Oh,
walk.
okay. Along the edge. Okay.
So you go down here, you notice it will open up into a clearing. Let me.
See now. Got it. All right. I want to go through here. After this clearing.
I can.
No?
Can I, Mike? Are you doing like the thumb touch for your finger like we learned in elementary school?
No.
Holy shit. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going in.
I lost my person.
It's 5.
You went in?
Yeah. Went into the clearing with my very bright shield. Oh shit.
As you walk into the clearing in full, you see attached to the various trees are large, green, fleshy sacks.
Ugh.
I
What
hate
they said
flesh
about
sacks.
You would. Dylan, where am I?
Where are you? You were attached to. Oh no, you're
Okay.
not. Okay, I guess it's not. Me, technical error.
That's okay. I was just making sure.
Oh, no wonder he didn't transfer you over. It's because you were hidden underneath him.
I'll try not to
Okay.
do that. I'll be next to him.
Boom. Here we
Just
go.
assume I'm on top. Fleshy sacks of balls. Is that what they look like?
They're like they're attached to the trees. They're not really spherical.
They look like mana pools.
Somebody should poke one, I think.
That sounds like a plan.
Also, you can
Got one
see Kami, since you're in this area, you notice that scattered around these various weird sacks are some blue mushrooms, and a couple of them have pink spots.
Herbs.
Well,
Are you gonna mention this to anyone?
No.
I didn't think so.
Kami, I think maybe don't mention it to the cat because she wants these for herself. So if we keep them, we can make the drug ourselves.
Make?
Something tells
Drug?
me she's got years of experience in this drug making business. She might be
Well,
the
she's
best
a
one
druid,
to do it.
right?
She is.
No, wait. The other lady was a druid. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the wing is a druid. All right. Well, my first thought is to cut one open.
I agree. Slashy slash.
Slashy slash.
When you
As you
slash
get
a
close
sack,
to it, you notice that you can see a shape inside it.
go from
Guys,
back
there's
to
something
front.
inside of here. Well, only one way to find
Wait. Didn't Feather the Wind say that they cocoon things first and then they get possessed by evil, nonsensical bullshit later? These could be good people. If they're dead already, then we could take their stuff, but if they're alive, we might want to try and get them out.
That is why I thought exactly. That's why I will do this.
I just
It's
want
a
their
sack.
stuff.
Does a 9 hit, Dylan?
No, it doesn't even break the fleshy exterior. It just caves in slightly. But then when you do, you notice that whatever's inside moves slightly.
I'll go to one.
Something inside.
I'll go to one and say,
Also, Swolba, I'm just gonna say this: the one that you're next to looks slightly bigger than the others.
All right then.
I'll go to one next to Athenia and I'll ask, Morning. I'll say I need something a little bit more finesse, and I'll transform
free
her
this
into a
man.
dagger and try and attack.
I try and slash mine open.
All right, she's like, okay.
Just for a bit. I don't need you killing whatever's in here. Yet. Maybe.
Looking at how disgusting that thing is, I'd say you'd be doing them some justice.
Swobo got an 18 on the big sack.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm also trying to cut mine
Alright.
open.
You hit it. Roll damage.
10.
Jesus Christ.
10 damage. You leave a deep cut to it where it starts leaking a green, almost jelly-like liquid. And you can see
Gross.
whatever's inside starts moving a little bit.
I'm gonna wait to stab things.
Is it a white jelly-like liquid?
No, it's green,
Green.
just like the sack.
So as this thing starts leaking, I'm gonna be like, well, and I'll transform her back into a glaive. I'm gonna wait to see what happens with that one.
Anyone want to come see what this green stuff is?
After a few seconds, the cut you did to it seals, and then it stops leaking.
Hmm.
Continue hacking and slashing.
Is that
So
So
so?
you
roll another longsword attack.
God
You
damn
still,
it.
you still don't break the exterior. But you notice that whatever's inside starts moving again, this time a little bit more violently, causing the sack to actually wobble.
Do I hear anything coming from his sack?
You hear like a weird sloshing noise.
Yeah, I said
like,
that.
It's
No,
definitely
that's...
filled. You don't hear anything else.
I'm also trying again then.
Jesus.
Roll damage.
7.
Yeah, you're gonna accidentally kill
You
the people
deal
there.
another pretty big cut, and it starts leaking more.
You said these things are hanging from the
oh, no.
tree?
No, they're just attached, like to the trunk and branches and stuff.
I just
guess.
want to take like a light touch of this green stuff and see if it's like poisonous or something.
You touch it.
Yes.
So here's what happened.
Shit.
Make a
Oh, boy.
Constitution save.
Shit.
Oh boy.
Swolbo.
14.
It's gotta say.
Okay, it's you
Level
start when
3.
you touch it, you start feeling your fingers stinging.
Hmm.
Like it starts stinging a little bit, then it starts stinging a lot. Then it starts feeling like it's lit on fire.
My hand hurts.
You take 2 acid damage.
Oh boy. Hmm. Guys,
And
this
it's
does
still
seem to be-
stinging. It's still burning your finger. It is not coming off.
I'm gonna like try and wipe the stuff off on the tree.
As you wipe it on the tree, it comes off a little bit. You start noticing that your fingertip is a little darker in color compared to the rest of your skin.
Oh,
Take my
Like to-
water flask and I pour it over his finger. I just go
Alright.
over there.
The rest of that
Swole.
the rest of that stuff comes off,
Oh,
and
thanks.
you notice that the finger is discolored.
Ah,
Like-
shit balls. And I walk over there with the blue powder and say, here. And I pour a generous portion, half the bag, into my hand, and I go, snuff this into your nose hole.
Alright, anyone got a $1 bill?
I would like to
scored
climb
it.
up on Swole. Swole.
I did.
What was that?
What was that for, Dylan?
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. Yeah, DM does what he does.
So, do
rolling
you
on
inhale the
screen,
powder?
Yes.
You do. After a few moments, you notice the stinging sensation in your finger is starting to disappear. And you notice almost immediately that the color returns to normal.
That's good stuff.
I
Also,
look around
you
and
guys
re-
hear a taxi. You hear a tearing sound behind you.
Fuck ass balls. Hold on, I was over by
So-
Swobo.
Oh, well, it's still behind you. You hear it sound in this direction. If
In
you
that-
guys were to turn to look, you would notice that these two are gone. Instead, coming out of these sacks
No.
are two what looks like humanoid people,
Oh, okay.
but not.
Wait a minute.
The sack gave birth to people.
Out of these people look like, I don't know, like one might be used to be human, another used to be elvish, but their features are kind of twisted. They have various fleshy protrusions coming out of their bodies, some tentacles, some tumors, and you notice that their fingers are almost look like they were cracked open to reveal longer bone-like claws.
Ugh, that's
Ew.
disgusting.
And each are kind of just like looking at you guys with an almost dead expression.
Can
with
I get
their
a
jaw almost hanging wide open?
Can I get a nope the fuck out of that attack of opportunity?
Can I get a
They're all the way over here.
Yeah, that I got magic.
You want to cast a magic spell? You allow one surprise attack, so go ahead.
I'm going to preemptively Eldritch Blast the one closest to me out of like shocked surprise, like just turn about and just be like, ah, holy shit, bam!
All right, roll to hit.
11.
11.
Fuck.
11 to hit. Barely whizzes past his head.
So in my surprise, I missed.
So the thing just whizzes past. The thing's just like,
Didn't seem to notice.
and
Ah,
it starts walking towards you. Everyone,
dicks.
roll initiative.
God damn it. Alright. +0, go.
My God, this is terrible.
Oh, it was much better.
Wait, no, I
Athena.
rolled 19. I read Sirius's.
Don't you love it when you get the surprise attack and then you roll last on the initiative order, almost like it made sense?
True.
I rolled a 23.
All right, so initiative orders. So Paxi, what'd you roll?
3. You're
Unfortunate.
welcome.
Athenia,
19. For +0, that's pretty fucking good.
all right, Kami,
Tommy Ha.
14.
Healer,
23.
The hell?
Swolbo.
19.
All right, are you?
And
Wait, you got a 12.
oh wait, 12. Sorry, 12. I rolled a 10.
All right, here's what's gonna happen. Healer, you go first with that 23.
Alright. I will, bless Athenia. I'll bless the sack touchers, Athenia, Paxi, and Swoble. And then I will run for 25 feet. 10, 15, 20. 25, just right in here next to Cammy. My turn is over.
I'll just delete you. Is that so? Okay, the next on the initiative order is going to be Athenia. Or Swolbo, whoever has the higher
Swolbo
dex.
goes before me.
I have higher decks.
Alright, Swolbo, go up and at him.
Ah!
I'm assuming you're raging.
Was that a rage?
Yes. I am now raging. Oh, I also realized last time, I realized what the +2 I was thinking of was. I forgot to add the +2 from raging to all my things.
Ah, yes.
I will not make that mistake this time. Alright. So I will attack with my battle axe.
Which one?
Oopsie, oh, that's the wrong roll, sorry.
That misses.
Plus a
Barely.
D4.
This thing
Plus a
basically
D4.
manages to
Oh,
catch
wait,
it. Oh wait, with a D4?
Yeah, you got blessed.
Oh, okay.
Roll the D4.
Let's go. Yes.
So, you would have missed it, but that magic that you got enchanted with kind of guided your hit. So this thing went to reach out to grab your battle axe, only for you to land right onto it. And you deal how much? 6? You got
That
6
would
damage.
be 6 plus 2 from raging, and then plus. Where is my? Here we go. Plus this thing. So that's 8, 12, and then plus the 2d8 from the poison.
13. Roll.
So it's at 12 right now, plus.
12.
Oh no!
That's 27 damage.
You cut this thing down the middle. It stops. You kind of barely miss his head. It kind of looks down. Then you hear this sizzling noise as this pitch black blood boils out of his body, and it fucking collapses.
Fun.
So fun.
That was the first swing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They don't look so strong.
Yeah, that was that was the first weapon. Now I hit with the
miscalculated.
warhammer. Oh, 12.
I just realized something.
What did you just realize?
Does he
12. Beats it.
I'm standing
You
right
do,
next to the biggest sack.
3 damage to this one.
Wait, the big. Wait, how can you tell this?
3
Oh, wait,
damage.
sorry. 5 damage because I'm raging.
All right, you kind of heard it. It's not nearly as bad compared
Wait.
to what you did to the other fucking
right.
thing.
I know it's
Is
the
that your
biggest because the
turn?
DM
Please
told
say
me
yes.
it
Yeah,
was.
that's my turn.
All right, Athenia.
Okay. 5, 10. Is this a advantage right here? Can I move under the tree?
You can move under the tree.
Yes, sir. Okay. And
Yep,
I will swing with
definitely.
advantage.
I forgot to attack recklessly last
That
time.
hits.
Oh well.
Oh, double 14s. Alright, that's going to be 6 damage.
All right, that's a hit.
That's it. That's my. You know what? You know I'm a smite. I'm a smite. Fuck it.
Hey,
First level divine smite.
Dude, we've been fighting a lot of undead, so I mean, like, why not?
You don't know they're undead.
Is this undead, Dylan?
Yes and no.
As this it matters for my damage.
Why? What happens?
I get an extra D8 if it's undead.
You know,
Heck.
yeah, it kind of counts as undead, so you get an extra D8.
Let's say my favorite DM
wow,
phrase.
10 damage.
You don't know.
10 extra damage.
Yeah.
It's not doing too hot. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn. There goes my first spell slot.
All right. These guys' turns.
I mean, yeah, the way you
So-
described it made it sound undead.
This one is still going to kind of focus on Swole, though, despite the fact that it got shot from behind. Maybe it's because Swole hit it. And he was just going to attack you with a claw. What's your armor class?
15.
Yeah, that's going to hit. You are going to take... Four damage.
Alright.
4
2
slashing
damage.
damage. Yes. Alright, Athenia.
Yeah.
The egg sack next to you shakes for a moment, and then you notice a long claw bursts out and then tries to slash you.
How lovely. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to hit. You said your
Okay, is
AC
it
was
necrotic
18.
damage or is it slashing?
It's just slashing. You are going to
Damn.
take... You're going to take 5 slashing.
Okay.
Also, this thing is gone, and in place of it...
Yeah, if we were
There we
level
go.
1, I'd probably be down.
Alright, and that's his turn. Next up is going to be Kami? Yes, you are. Kami, you're up.
All right. So for flavor, can I kick the gnome and turn him into a projectile?
Depends on
take
how
damage,
hard you
dude.
kick the gnome. Actually, kick the gnome is not the right word. It depends on how hard you punt the gnome.
He
Alright.
is smaller than a football.
Well, he's the size of a football.
Yeah, he's about the size of a football now.
He's 1
Football's
foot tall.
long. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Football's a
Shit,
foot
I never.
long, so-
You're so tiny.
Yeah, he's basically the size of like a baby.
How do people not
I'm
step on
20
you?
pounds.
Okay, so
Fat
Make
for
us-
1 foot tall.
make
Yeah,
it
you're pretty pudgy there.
athletics. It would be athletics in this case.
Athletics is not my strong suit, but I will try.
It definitely is not your strong suit.
This is not negative.
The furthest you throw / punt him would be 20 feet.
You ready
The
for this?
average length of a full-term baby at birth is 20 inches.
Very
so
small.
you're you're 2/3 the size of the average newborn baby.
Oh my fucking god! You need to get like a baby straps for him now.
You can just wear
No,
them
they don't make
attached
them
to your
that small.
chest.
Except that you're like twice the weight of an average newborn baby.
And he's like 3 times the weight of a preemie.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to draw. Oh shit! I need measurements.
Tasha's caustic brew.
Yeah, there's the circle tool. I mean, the snap to center.
$30-foot range.
Yeah, that seems
So
very.
you have to, so you have
dangerous
so
do.
you have to move.
Yeah.
Run and
Alright.
punt the gnome.
I still vote punting the gnome towards Paxi in attempt to use him as a projectile with what is left of the poison I put on him.
Oh my god.
That's going to be what I'm going for. So, gear up and kick the baby is my vote.
It's your turn.
I'm kicking the baby. Turn him
Alright.
into a... I'm trying to go 35 feet.
Alright, you launch him 20 feet in any direction you choose.
Alright, he ends up here. How do I alt-click, shift-click? How do I ping it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares to the right. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, you just tap and hold. Though you switch back to the cursor.
Oh, shit. Alright. Alright, kick the baby.
Alright, healer, you're right here now.
Yeah, projectile incoming.
Air support.
And then I use my bonus action to sigh and face palm in sweet, sweet relief that if everybody dies here, I'll be the first to make it out.
That's what you think.
Alright, so if that's your turn, next up is gonna be... Are you?
Let's see here. So the one that one no, sorry, the one that's covered in red means that it's dead.
It's dead.
Okay, gotcha.
Or is it?
1, 2,
Done is
3,
doing
4,
DRs.
5, 6. Do rogues have the ability to like throw the daggers, or is that something I need to like have a feat for?
No, daggers are thrown weapons, so you could throw one.
Okay, so I don't need like any special feat or anything,
Not really. It's just a... I
Different
don't
staff,
think...
though.
but I need to go retrieve it and stuff, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Unless you have some magic that allows them to return to you.
no, I do not. So I don't have any of that. So I'm just gonna say right there and observe.
And there's a
Nice.
distance you can throw it as well.
Doesn't you can dash as a bonus action, I think.
Oh right, I always forget dashing is a stupid rogue thing. So dash is just an extra amount of movement, right?
It's
Doubles.
double your base movement.
Okay, so that's just another 30 then, right?
Yeah, it's another 30 feet.
Okay, so bonus action 1, 2,
Are you a rogue or a barbarian,
no.
though?
1,
rogue.
2, 3. Okay, oh, so that means I can only use my normal action, but I can use a sneak attack, right? Because it's my first attack on it.
He's within the proximity of enemies, so it would count, I think.
You have to be at advantage.
It can be
No, you don't have
advantage.
to be at advantage.
You have to be at advantage, or you have to have friendlies next to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a scenario where I do have sneak attack.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha. So I'll go ahead and attack this boy. RB 20 plus 4. It does a 17 hit.
Yes, it does.
Nice. With the 4 plus 2 plus 2d6. 11 damage.
And you stab him in the chest. All of its guts spill out. It's dead. And is that your turn?
Yes, sir.
Alright, next up on the initiative is Paxi. You are last.
Two of these things are dead. So this one that we originally tried cutting, like, we got a good slash out of it. A lot of goop
Yes.
drained out, but
But then it's sealed.
it's sealed back up. So I'm gonna consider this thing half-baked and potentially savable. So I want to try and cut it open, but not kill what's inside.
Alright, so make an attack.
Don't worry, I've got a character sheet here somewhere. There it is. Hiya! Ooh, 20.
Roll damage.
10.
Let's see.
And I want to... Oh, I should have prefaced. I wanted to stay away from it, because I don't want green goop touching me.
So here's what happens with your her weapon, which she's not very happy about.
Sorry.
You do a long vertical cut. It basically it cuts very clean. Unlike the last few times where people are just like hacking at it, you deal a nice precise cut that causes it to split open. And you notice that whatever's inside it spills out along with all of that green goop.
Cool.
And I should probably delete this. And so what came out, you know, like those things out there, you know, those people that were kind of corrupted-ish. You can see these various protrusions and things that are mutated. Whatever this thing is does not look like them. In fact, it looked like them, but it went beyond.
Oh.
So,
shit balls.
so what? This thing is like in a fetal position, but then it slowly starts standing up.
That's what I
And
get
you
for
notice
being
this
nice.
thing is big. Stands up a little bit bigger than the average human, about 7 feet tall. You notice its body is actually covered in thick, leathery pieces of skin. Like all these like tumors and things are not haphazard. This thing looks purposefully mutated to be a big, broad thing with huge, massive arms that end in long, big fingers that drag on the ground. And this thing is like looking a little disoriented. Then it stops. You notice its jaw splits open. It starts letting out a deep guttural growl.
And I look at Morning Ice, so this is what I get for trying to help people.
And she just should have just killed it.
Nope. So much nope.
And as out
Can
there,
I
your
get?
initiative?
Do I think I can get away from it without getting slapped?
You want to try?
Do I see
Yeah,
a whip?
yeah,
Do I
you're
see a
not-
tentacle whip on it?
No, you just see big, long arms.
Cool. See ya.
And you just notice its head following you. Is that your turn?
Well, no. I made my bed. I'll lie in it. I'll stay there.
So is that your turn?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Its turn.
Oh, I'll yell to everybody. I go, big one.
It's gonna move 5. It's like it's lumbering towards you.
Fuck
Now
me.
it's gonna rear its massive hand, and clench into a fist. It's gonna slam you.
Of course it is.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you what your AC is for this one.
Uh-oh.
So you are going to take. So this is what's going to happen. After getting up and shaking his head, getting rid of the goop, it rears back, delivers that massive punch. It's going to slam you right in the gut. You're going to take 14 bludgeoning damage.
I'll cough out.
And
Thanks for
make
nothing.
a strength save.
Strength save as well.
I'll say thanks for nothing as I cough out all the lungs. 8.
You fail. You are now knocked prone.
Fantastic. From the ground, I'm gonna light him on fire with the thing.
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke again. DC 13, please.
It
Dex.
beats it for sure.
Cool. Does he take half? Hold on. Half as much on a success. So he takes 6.
6 damage. It does not really look that singed. In
Yeah,
fact, it looks
and so I
positively healthy.
kind of like lean back and I go, that wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. I look at Morning, I go, I swear this doesn't happen all that often.
I don't know. I'm starting to see a repeat. Also, the thing attacks you again.
Fuck.
Wonderful.
Okay, now I
What's
just
the
gotta roll again.
huh? Just roll the damage.
All right, how does a crit sound for you?
Quit trying to
Oh,
hit me and hit
no.
me.
If he could hit you, he would have already.
It's going to rear its hand back and then bitch slap you, and you
Oh.
take 18 points of bludgeoning.
I didn't feel a thing because I'm unconscious.
I did not control that crit.
No, hey,
Literally,
that's what
it
happens.
Was it was a 20 and a 2.
That dems the dice.
Alright, now
Fuck.
next up there, healer. You just watch with your own after getting punted like a football. You just watch Paxi get fucking slapped off onto his ass, and before he could even react, he then fucking slaps him, and then next thing you know, he's just on the ground unconscious.
Gonna run away.
I release the
Whoa,
Hulk,
whoa.
and I immediately regret my decisions.
I will bow my head, hold my hands together, speak something in Infernal, and all undead creatures have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Ooh.
Which it does not tell me what it is.
Hold on. I can.
Um,
I know what it is. It's probably
Is it
your
13?
what's your proficiency?
it's your
and
spell
your
save
wisdom
DC.
modifier?
Probably 13 then.
Yeah,
Oh.
sounds about right.
So here's what happened. So what's the save?
13 wisdom.
So I'm gonna say it's when you cast this spell, you notice that the flesh on these guys starts vibrating a bit as they seem to try to resist. This guy fails.
Neat.
This guy crit succeeds.
Oh no.
Okay, so
This guy.
the guy who fails cannot come anywhere closer and must take all of his actions to run away from me. I have turned undead him.
Alright, so he must flee.
You must flee.
Right, yes.
On his turn or immediately?
A creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from it as it can. It can't
Also,
willingly move to space.
Just so you know, this guy, after you try to cast that, he starts turning his attention to you.
Neat.
That's
Anything
fun.
to get him off of me.
I am also
He-
going to run as far as I can away from him and
Don't worry
Candy.
about it, buddy.
Five,
I'll keep.
10, 15, 20. I can move diagonally, right? 25.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done.
I'm not quite sure
Alright.
who made that arrow. I don't know if I should be worried or not.
Alright, is that your turn? Next up would be Athenia. No, Swolbo. Swolbo has a
Yeah.
higher dex.
Get him,
Alright.
Swolbo. Swolbo Swagons.
I attack
Roll.
recklessly.
He'll slap
You
you.
attack recklessly.
Yeah, get Paxi. I mean, what?
13. God damn it.
You do not even break its hard, leathery skin.
God damn it.
Oh, plus a 4. Plus a 4.
Oh, yes.
Plus a d4.
14.
Still fails.
Oh my god. That is unfortunate. Well then. Maybe the Warhammer can hit him. What?
It's
Come
still
on.
advantage. It's still advantage.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's all attacks. If you attack recklessly, all your attacks are made an advantage.
And it's
that
still a
turn.
plus, and
It's
it's still a
specifically
plus
says
4.
pick your first. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Okay.
And
Oh,
then
it's
bless.
plus 1d4. Don't die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Does an 18 hit him?
Meets it, beats it.
Me-
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
6 damage.
You're raging. aren't you?
Alright.
Oh, 8 damage. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
That's their first hit that you landed, so you get a thing, right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
okay. 14
14.
damage.
Alright, you cut into its being and it lets out a loud hissing noise.
Well,
It
that
went
was
from
that was a
fi-
mace, by the way.
It's not
Or-
went from being focusing on healer to focusing on you.
Yeah.
Alright. If that's your turn, next up is Athenia.
Alright, so with my free action, I'm going to say, God damn it, Paxi! And I want to run over.
Okay.
5, 10, I take attack of
This-
opportunity.
Yep, it's going to slash at you.
I don't know if it can.
I think it's still. Your thing just says it has to use its turn to run
That's a
away,
crit.
Are you still, oh, crit me?
Yeah, it crit you.
Fuck.
Okay. For how much?
It is going to do...
Also, no, hold on. DM? It
What's
also
up?
can't take reactions.
That's what it says?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
in that case...
Yay!
Alright.
Thank the
For its
gnome.
action, it can only use the dash action.
Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Cure Wounds, and you heal 7 HP. Jesus Christ, low rolls. You heal 7 HP, Paxi.
7 HP.
And what I'm going to do now is, using my movement, I'm going to drag him away from the danger. 5, 10. So I moved 1, 2. So I have 20 movement left. That's as far as I can go. And I drag Paxi to right here. Or there, yeah, that works too.
Alright, since you were moved without your consent, the creature does not get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, Kami.
Well, shit. Apparently, I've got to do everything around here, but I can't do a whole lot.
Right.
How much have I healed Paxi at this point?
How low is Paxi?
I'm at 7.
7 HP, and just is rousing from.
I had a
being
nap.
unconscious. Yeah.
Alright. So I'm going to take a 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, I got a 25, so I can go 20. And I'm going to grab Tits out of my bag and be like, Tits, rejuvenate mode.
What
Cure wounds.
the hell did you pull out?
So Tits is
A robot.
Carbon Addicts. It's my artificer device. It is literally a can of CO2 that has a dynamic nozzles on it.
It's his mother's milk. Thank you.
Also, by the way, Paxi, you hear a voice in your head speak. Wake up, sleepyhead. We got some uglies to kill.
Oh, motherfucker. Is it my turn?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Is that your turn,
Oh, wait. I
Tammy?
healed 5?
Kami?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Alright.
I moved, took an action.
If that's Kami's turn, then Ryu is up.
All right. Where is everybody's attention at the moment? Is it on the big fella?
Yes.
Where my attention is.
What about everybody else? Is everybody else paying attention to this?
My attention is on Paxi.
Okay, so my question here is, if I do that using a stealth roll, would anybody notice me trying to loot this body?
Yeah,
Probably not.
Mr. DM man.
You roll sleight of hand.
I'll slide a hand. Okay. Slide a hand.
With advantage, I'd say, because everyone's focusing on the chaos. Oh,
Like-
not that was needed. Alright, now roll investigation. No one's going to notice you.
Wow, why is my investigation bad? Oh, it's really bad.
It's based
Oh wait,
on
but
intelligence.
advantage? No, it's
No.
still terrible.
No, it's not advantage, not
Oh,
in this
wow.
case. So,
Sorry, my bad.
you search its body, you see some tatters of clothes and stuff. This thing doesn't really have that much left on it, but you manage to find a few copper pieces on its body, about like 3 copper pieces.
I'll take
That's
it.
like the most you can notice of value on itself.
Was this the human one or the elf one?
That was human.
Oh, this was the human one. I mean, I'll cut off an arm, I guess.
What the?
You want to cut?
Oh
off
no,
the
no, no!
arm?
But I don't have the action for it.
Actually, you don't have it yet. Yeah, you
I don't
just
have the
use your
action.
action. Is this your
Yeah.
turn?
Yeah, so I got the 3 copper then. Thank you.
Alright, then Paxi. You're up. You're also still prone.
Yeah. I will get up. Half my movement, so I got 15 left.
Oh shit, I accidentally skipped initiative. Whatever, will happen afterwards.
And I will use my bonus action to cast my Hexblade's Curse on the big guy.
Big
Alright, what happens?
I get +2 bonus rolls against him, and if hold on, let's read. It only matters if I actually hit him. +2 damage and bonus, and if a critical hit on 19 or 20, and if it dies, which it won't, I heal 6. So, Hexblade, curse him. I'm going to remove my remaining 3. How far away am I? And I'm going to yell to Morning. It's time to reach out and touch someone. And I'm going to transform her into a heavy crossbow. And shoot.
Will you be able to hit from that? With the people with Swolbo? Actually, no, Swolbo's small. Cam is small. Okay, yeah, you have a clear shot.
I'm 3 feet.
Alright,
I'm
roll-
not even 3
roll a
feet
hit.
tall. I'm halfway
Kablam!
up this thing's legs.
Shit.
Mm,
Do I get
+4.
advantage because Swolbo is keeping him company?
Oh,
Weren't you
no,
getting
he's kind of
blessing?
no.
he's
it
kind of
doesn't matter,
facing
it won't
he's kind of
hit.
facing your general directions though.
Well,
So
I blessed the 3 of them.
yeah, he's not
Right.
looking away. So
Even if he
he's not
gets
gonna be
1d4
damaged.
wouldn't
Okay.
matter,
Well,
though.
wait. 1d4, just because.
Basically, he's looking at this direction.
Hold on. So it's 13, 14, 15 to hit. No.
It bounces off his body.
Yeah.
Cool.
He has 18 AC, so.
Jeez.
So
Chances of me actually hitting that is very low.
we
Alright,
have
is that your
had better days. Yep.
All right, this guy forgot his turn, but it doesn't matter. So he's going. Where's healer? Healer's right here. This guy's turn. Swolbo, since you attacked with advantage, today's
Oh,
going to
man.
be your very unlucky day. It's going to rear back with its fist, and it's going to punch you. So, let's do this roll. Advantage. What's... Actually, I don't think I need to ask for your AC for this one. Yep, nope.
15.
So, let's do the damage, shall we?
Remember, he takes half.
So, factoring in the half, you take 6 damage, 6 bludgeoning.
Alright.
Yeah. Let
Make
him
a
tank.
strength save.
Okay, I believe I had advantage on those. Yep.
Yeah, you get a man. You poggers.
Come on!
Yeah, you get knocked onto your ass. You're prone.
Come on.
So, you know about the
Oh,
whole...
wait. He gets +4 to saves.
Wait, +4 or plus
Bless.
1d4?
1d4.
1d4.
So, roll 1d4. Who knows? That could make the difference. 15. Let's see what I did for this guy. Meets... No. I think I might be looking at the wrong number. Yeah. Meets it, beats it.
Yes!
You're not
Thank you.
prone. He's going to punch you again.
It hasn't been more than a minute, right? For combat?
No. Okay, so apparently my dice are favoring me, unfortunately for you guys. That's a
You
crit.
just crit.
Yes, he did.
What?
So this is normal damage. That's
Oh.
going to be 14 bludgeoning.
Alright, but have.
If you didn't have...
No, that is
that's half.
Oh,
If you
okay.
didn't have resistance, that's 28 bludgeoning right there. You just hear a
Nothing
loud
knocks almost any of
smacking
us
noise
unconscious.
that echoes through the forest as this guy hits him with the force of a runaway carriage. How's your health looking?
I'm at 15.
Okay, good.
Jesus.
That's this guy's turn. He can't do anything else.
Fucking barbarians, man.
Alright. Next up on the initiative order is going to be healer.
Oh man, what should I do?
What you were born to do.
How is he looking? The big guy?
Healthy.
Too bad, actually.
Not too bad?
Yeah. He got hit a couple of times, but he's still raring to go and looking like he wants to smash people into a pulp.
Alright, I am going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement, so I have to make a ranged spell attack.
Alright.
See here. Oh, let's see here. Come on. Oh, that's not going to do it. 10 is not going to do it. And I will
You've
end
been
my
rolling
turn.
low.
He's looking at you again. He kind of saw the ray was past his head. I'm just going to say this guy looks a little bit more intelligent compared to the others.
Yeah, but compared to the other,
Yeah,
a
that's
couple
true.
of sticks is pretty intelligent too.
That is true. So healers, that's your turn. Swoldo's up
Mhm.
next.
Yes.
All right.
Get him, Swoldo.
Should I go recklessly again? Why not?
Your funeral.
to
If you get
die.
crit again, that's your fault.
Yeah,
I can no longer heal.
it's okay. We have more healers.
Shit, I can heal.
25. I'm assuming that hits.
I hope so.
You get
No,
a
it
plus
doesn't.
6 or something?
Just kidding.
Yeah, +6.
Yeah,
God,
that's
that's
a
so
hit.
close to a crit.
All right. So this is gonna be 11 plus 2, so 13. Oh wait, plus 1, 14, plus that 25.
Where's the 2d8
Christ.
coming from?
The poison on my
damage.
weapon.
Oh, fuck. Okay, this thing's not looking good now. You did a deep cut. Now this thing. Wait, what's this?
Poison
health?
even
Turns out
effect
you're
on the
done.
creature.
And by the way, if that was
Oh.
so, keep in mind.
Here's
if
what
that was-
happens. So you do a very deep cut into this thing. You see the wound starts fizzing and bubbling from the poison, and then you see this thing like start various veins start popping on its skin.
Ooh.
It's going to now swing at you at
Wait a minute.
very fast speed.
Wait, is this
Wait a
a
minute.
reaction? Because my turn's not.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a reaction.
Uh-oh.
Did he just crit again?
Want me to get a recording of this? I can show you the deep
Hell.
20.
Oh, on a failed, the potion poison does 2d on a failed con save.
Oh,
Yeah,
Now
it's
we know
con-
for future.
what's the con save?
14.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Whoopsie.
Natural 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically,
So
it'll
it just
take,
takes an
it,
extra 11.
it'll ta-
But it
Yeah,
takes
it'll take-
every
it'll
one
take-
of its turns.
Wait, it takes it on its turn too?
Takes it on its turn as well.
Wait, as what? Jesus.
So
well or
roll an
by-
additional. Okay, roll an additional 2d8. It's
Uh,
basically it has. Since it rolled a natural 1, it'll gain a vulnerability to the poison. So in other words, it'll
Alright.
take double damage from it. Who knows? You might
Wait,
kill
what?
it.
You already rolled 11 on it.
5. He's saying because it rolled a natural 1 on its save, I'm doing more.
It's not dead, but it's really hurt. Anyways, now the crit damage.
God damn it.
Bye.
13 after halving it. 13 bludgeoning.
Alright, I'm still alive.
All right, go on.
Alright, time for my second swing. Where is it? Oh, there we go. 25 again.
Roll the
Jesus
hit.
Christ.
6 plus 2, 8
8.
damage.
God damn.
8. 8.
Yes.
He's barely hanging on.
God damn it.
He looks
My
pissed
turn.
though. Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Damage did I do
Advantage.
this turn? Jesus Christ.
That's
Ooh,
a crit.
Get fucked. Alright, so slashing one-hander, that's going to be 18 damage. Is he still standing?
No.
Done.
How do you do this?
Considering I'm behind him, I want to jump up, stab him straight in the back, and pull down.
So this is what happens. You jump up. You basically stab down into its chest. You hear a loud cracking noise that it breaks through that fleshy exoskeleton, and after using the momentum of your fall, you pull your body down, and it goes right through his entire body. And you see he just like wobbles for a moment, then he literally splits open like this,
Oh my goodness.
and
That's a
just folds onto the
fatality.
ground.
That's a fatality right there.
Poggins for him. Poggers for me. Poggins for him.
And he's dead.
So after 1 minute, that other one that was running away comes back if he wants to.
All right, we don't know what happens.
I'm
Uh-oh.
just letting you know.
I don't think he
It's,
wants to.
So-
Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get some samples, and we're going to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, how does Pixie look?
Pixie looks great. No, he doesn't. He'll Swolbo.
Swolba doesn't look very good. Swolba's at 2
Swolbo's-
health.
Yeah, Swolbo's missing any at this point.
Swolba's at 2 health out of 39.
All right. Well, I will cast Cure Wounds. 1d8 plus 3, 8 health.
Oh boy. You know, it's a damn good thing I like super high rolled those hit dice actually. I would be dead if not for that.
Nice. All right. So
I
what,
also
I want to take a
send
yeah,
heals.
sorry.
No worries. I also make sure that people who need touching in all the right places get fondled in all the right places.
Well, I suddenly wish I didn't let you speak.
That's not your character trope.
So what are you guys are doing?
I'm going to take some samples of these guys.
I'll
or at
just.
least, Paxi should, because Paxi has the vials.
I would like to search the big one.
Yes, ma'am.
See
You want
what's
to search
on
the
it.
big one?
Yes.
Roll
I mean, he's already
investigation.
split
Healing
open.
me as
Easy.
well.
Investigation, is that what you said?
Yep. Investigation.
So I go up to the big guy. What
And
is the most sampley looking sample thing I can take from him?
There's the guts. There's the fleshy, leathery skin on the outside. Pieces
His
of his
brain.
giant hands. What'd you roll? 10?
Yes,
What
sir.
about his brain?
You don't really find any objects on him, but you notice that inside someone's flesh are a couple of copper pieces. You find 5 copper pieces that conveniently fell out when he got cut open.
You
That's
know
a
what?
drink.
The flesh basically glue. You can find traces and scraps of clothes, like what may have been a dagger, but got so fucking destroyed. But basically, the flesh grew around it.
Okay. So this thing's been corrupted and it has had its mind wiped, essentially. Swobo, can you cleave this thing's head in half? I want some brain.
You got it.
Can't be saying that.
Now I get the
23. I'm not gonna have. Oh, okay. So you cut its head open. You can see his brain, which is blackish in color, spill out. And you notice immediately some teeny tiny tendrils start slithering out from around its open, gaping skull. Now,
The tendrils are coming out of it?
yeah, out of its body and just like waving in the air. It's very tiny, not very big. But basically, the flesh on his, even though the creature's technically dead, seems like part of his flesh is still alive.
Can I get one of those tentacles without, like, harming myself?
You want to try?
Can I have...
Where's that thing?
Can I have
didn't.
Morning turn into, like, a pair of scissors? Can I just, like, clip one of those tentacles into the vial?
I don't think Morning would appreciate being a common tool.
Do you want me to cut it open?
No, and I point to these things of, like, I don't have any, like, precision instruments. Can, like, can we get one of these tentacles into this bottle? Kami, what do you got?
I got you, fam. Hold up. Here we go. I got I have a tool for every one of the occasions because I have. Where did it go? I have a thing for this. I legitimately have a tool for this. Hold on. My tool proficiency and I have the thing that lets me craft a tool from nothing. The right tool for the job. With any other tool in my inventory and in my hand, including an alchemist supplies, bluer supplies, cartographer tools, poison kit, thieves kits, tinker's tools, and/or any other type of specialties within my inventory, I can create a unoccupied space within 5 feet of me that requires. Oh, it takes me an hour of uninterrupted work, but then I can create
To
whatever
make
set of
some
tools I
scissors?
need. However, I do have alchemist supplies, bluer supplies, cartographer tools, poisoner's kits, and a thieves toolkit on me.
Thieves tools kit. You got a small knife in there somewhere.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I have a dagger. I'm just gonna grab the little tentacle with a gloved
It
hand.
starts squirming underneath your fingers.
Of course it does. And I slice it off into the... And I put it in the bottle and cork it.
All right.
And then I will take some of the guts of this big guy. Because you said, like, this big guy just looked like the smaller guys, but baked a little longer.
So you're
Essentially-
telling
no,
me-
this doesn't even look like the smaller guys anymore. It's like he took a human and imagine a lot of this flesh wrapped around it and made it bigger. This thing is basically the inside's human, while everything outside is not.
Is the tentacle still squirming in the bottle?
No, it went limp the moment you cut it.
Alright. I'll go to the human-y guys, and I'll try and get some tentacly bits from them as well.
No technical bits, but there's a lot of tumor growths.
Tumor growth then.
Did the elf one come back then? No.
This is the elf one.
One that ran away. I don't think he wants to come back.
Okay.
I mean, Athenia, you're right there. You can roll perception if you want.
Sure. 9, nothing.
Okay.
Look at the pretty trees.
Yeah, pretty trees. Oh gosh,
shit.
that's... Ooh,
Yeah,
pretty
the trees look pretty. You also notice that one of the trees in this direction is rustling a little bit.
Oh god.
In which direction? Hmm, interesting.
Okay, so I got owlbear guts, owlbear tentacle,
Too
big
bad
guy,
I stopped being angry.
big guy tentacle, and human tumors. I'm gonna light the. I'm gonna tell everybody to get away from the big. Wait. Does the big guy look like he has
Something-
anything to loot on him? Nah. Okay. I'm gonna tell everybody to back away from the big guy, and I'm gonna light him on fire.
You notice that the trees right here part way.
Which
And
Which
Only
one?
big one?
stepping out is this guy.
Oh, he's back. I'm gonna put a bonfire on him. Instead.
And then stepping out more are 2 more.
I'm
Oh,
going to
no.
run the absa-fuck-a-loot away.
So you see one of those guys similar to the big meaty guy that you fought, this guy, but you notice another one with them. This guy is a little bit taller, more slender, and you notice that it seems like his arms were split in 2, and they each long end with like a foot-long bony spike.
The nice lady said it's dangerous the more we stay here. I'm leaving.
I agree.
So you guys are gonna run.
Full sprint.
As we start running away,
So
I
you just basically have the surprise. You can move your full movement to run away.
You know what?
as
I'm
we're
gonna
doing that-
grab healer.
That's the way out.
Unless
Can I take
healer
a
is on.
surprise action.
If healer is not already on Cammy, I'm picking him up, and running with him.
I like Scooby-Doo.
Alright, just to... Yeah, wait. Can we climb up this way?
No, it's a little steep. You'd have to basically make an athletics or
We have
acrobatics.
to go
Oh.
this way then.
Okay, so we were
Yeah.
here.
5, 10...
inside of this radius, I'm throwing a vial of grease that requires anybody who moves through it to make a dex saving throw or fall prone.
Have you guys made your full movement?
No, hold on. I'm sprinting. 30. We are.
Alright.
Oh,
we're
that's a good point.
We're out of here.
Oh, can I
Ca-
use bonus action?
Catch you
Alright, so
later.
So this guy will move over here. Gets to make a what save?
He's gonna make a dex save or fall prone.
Dex 13.
He fails. And wait, what's the save?
13.
13.
Yeah, that's a fail. He's prone. So this guy is going to walk over here. He's going to make the roll. And he fails. He's prone. Then you have this guy. He's going to stop right here. He's going to slam his arms into the ground. And he's going to leap by propelling himself like a living slingshot.
Uh-huh.
I don't like this. Do you guys like
He's
this? I don't
going
like
to
this.
land right here.
Oh, what is this? World War Z looking ass.
And that's it. You guys can keep moving.
Bitch looking ass, fucker looking ass.
Head ass.
Brad, Brad,
5, 10,
Brad,
Bye.
looking ass.
20,
Yep,
It's an
see ya.
action.
30, 35, 40, 35, 50, 55, 60.
So I'm gonna use as much movement as I can, and I'm gonna create a bonfire behind whoever's last.
Yeah. I would like to use an action though on our way out.
Wait, no, I'm holding healer. Healer, you're with me. You're out of there.
Oh, well, I'd still like to make an action.
Okay.
I'd like to cast minor illusion on Cammy, and I'd like to make it sound like he had the worst fear shart you've ever heard.
Trust me, that might have been real.
Oh, what? Why
What?
do with illusions what already happened?
I,
So you can, so that you can blame it on the illusion.
I'm saying, kick me. Get skunked.
Alright, so I'm just gonna say this. You guys run. These things are not sprinting. They seem incapable of sprinting. So even though this thing like leapt once or twice, you can hear the slamming sound of its brain basically landing on the ground hard. You guys get out of there very quickly. And you're gone. You managed to sprint out of the forest, and you're back at the entrance of it.
Yeah, we only got 2 samples, huh?
Oh, we got 4.
No, we got 4.
Yeah,
Oh, did we?
me knowing I've got doo-doo in my pants, I'm making my way back to where I can dispose of said doo-doo in my pants.
You can see when you guys run in, you notice that feather on the wing kind of like looked like, oh, you're alive, good. So, how was your trip?
Not allow me to die.
I will walk up.
Just starts talking at once.
I will walk up and I'll flick a bit of blood and gore off my shoulder. It's like, mission successful, ma'am. 4 vials, extra credit completed. And I'll kind of explain that we encountered an owlbear and 2 of the vials are from that, and then we encountered the other guys, and the other 2 are from the big guy and the humans.
Ooh. She like takes it, the vial, looks. She's like looking it through, like the one where you got from the tentacle from the big guy. She's like looking at it very closely. You got it from, what did those knights call them? Brawlers? I don't know what their naming situation is, but it's a very strong.
That's brain tentacle, by the way.
Oh, now this is an excellent sample. I know the cleric will be quite happy with this. Now, as for this fleshy protrusions, tumors, you said, a smaller one. It is fine. She takes the 2 vials with the owlbears. She looks at the tentacle, nods her head a bit. Unfortunately, we're looking at samples from each creature, so sadly,
3
even
it
though you
is.
have 4 vials, you only have enough for 3. And I must be honest here. So, she takes a vial with the guts, pours it into the open flame, and just lets it cook until it just turns to ash. And then she just takes the vial and just sets it aside. And that's
I was
the remaining
afraid of
3,
that.
She grabs some ink and on her fingers, and she's just writing some weird scribbles onto each bottle. And just nods her head. Good. This should be more than enough. Also, did you perchance find any of those mushrooms?
Yes, we did. We did not get any because of circumstances beyond our control.
That's a shame. Regardless, if anything, it's quite good that you're still alive, because what you described, the creature you fought, it is truly a miracle. Those things alone are capable of taking on an entire squadron. So, if you're saying, did it come fresh from one of those cocoons?
It did indeed, ma'am. And I'll hand her back the half sack of blue powder.
No. Keep it. It is a gift.
And I'll hand the sack of cocaine to Cammy.
I must say, you were in fact very lucky. If it came freshly from a cocoon, then it must have been weaker than it normally would.
Well, you don't do any favors to my ego, though, ma'am.
No, regardless, you've achieved something that a lot of adventurers have failed to come back from. Those people that you fought must have been adventurers like you. Probably same power or even stronger. And you killed them, and you survived. I'd say that's more than well enough to do well for your ego.
I suppose it is.
But I think everything should be done, unless, of course, you plan to go back in there, which I don't recommend. At least not today. You've already stirred up the hive as it is, or at least that's how they say it. You've already kicked the hornet's nest, no need to do it again, or otherwise you will get stung.
Understood. I think it's time for a bath and a good night rest.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I could use a drink.
Same
Well,
here.
in that case, go back to the glittering bauble and be sure to say hi to, his name, Kelvin. Yeah, be sure to say hi to Kelvin for me. He needs to see me again. It's been a long time since we've talked since our adventuring days.
Will do. And I leave.
I follow swiftly. After thanking the what's her name? Feather of the Wing for her patience.
Of course, of course. Be sure to come again if you ever need anything from me.
So did she hand me a piece of paper or something with her?
No, she just gave you the bottles, but with like ink writings on them.
Was nobody going to question like how she knew about what was in the forest? Am I gonna have to ask? Am I gonna have to ask using
Go-
5 syllables?
Go
I
for
think
it.
she's like the she's like the ranger, isn't she?
She's a druid. She
Well,
takes
she's
care.
the park ranger.
Why would that be unusual?
Why is it unusual that these undead creatures that we have not ever seen are here?
We have not ever seen them.
She
What?
might have seen him.
We've never seen them.
Yeah.
We've never seen them. Why would they have never seen them?
Well,
They,
ask-
they
I'm
clearly
not-
know that they're there. They asked us to hunt them down.
Ask your
Yes,
question,
but-
are you?
Okay, fine. Let me think of a 5-syllable question. Okay, I guess I'll just say, what are those things there?
This thing. Are you talking about the monsters that inhabit the forest?
The undead creatures.
Yep, that's 5 syllables.
Yeah,
This is going to
exactly.
make you think. This campaign is going to make you think.
Don't worry.
We are still not sure. As I said, they came out of nowhere. They are undead, and yet not. It's like the body is undead, but then whatever grew around it or from it is a separate thing of its own. We're still figuring it out, and even after we've killed what may have been the source, they're still popping up all over the place. So obviously, that was not the end of it.
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean,
do
the
know
only
it's
reason.
not normal. And you've
Okay,
also brought up a point in the past saying it could possibly be a remnant of the old war, and maybe that could be the cause. So it
Okay,
could be
yeah.
an artifact or a spell.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was what I was trying to get at. Just because we're new to this thing, and I think we prefaced this with saying that we have no
More than
idea.
5 syllables.
This is out of character.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah, like-
prefaced this campaign with like we know nothing. So
You don't know anything, and
Exactly.
this isn't one of those situations where they don't know that much either.
okay, sure.
But there's a possibility it could be a spell or an artifact or someone who did this. So
Gotcha.
you're only scratching the surface.
Gotcha. I like this. I like the world building.
So you guys heading back to the town?
Yep.
So yeah.
So you guys start heading back to the town. As you walk past the gates, you notice the guards kind of like look at you, then look at each other. One of them starts smiling, and then the other guy, unhappy, hands him a few coins.
Wait, where are the guards? I don't see them.
No, it's just off screen. So let me
Oh.
bring you back. As you walk back to the glittering bauble, I'll put you right here.
As we walk by and I notice the guard getting paid by his friend, I'll say, "You're welcome."
And he just gives you a thumbs up. And you guys are back at the glittering bauble. Although kind of scattered a little bit. Some of these guys are
Oh, dead.
have recovered.
So I probably look a little worse for wear. I'm gonna go up to. I wrote his name down.
Calvin.
Is it Calvin? Yeah. Okay, there it is. Yeah, Calvin. I'll say.
Calvin
son?
Ashbury.
Oh crap.
Calvrin. There's an R.
Calvin?
Calvin.
Yes.
There's an R in there.
Okay, so it's basically like, all right, who's God?
That's definitely not what you said.
Crap. Was the cook's name Ronnie?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Ronnie.
I'll yell back to the cook. Ronnie, I'll have the same, but let's do mild this time. I want to enjoy my meal.
You just see him pop out. He's like, no beard. The same
He'll
lad.
get it back by
I
tomorrow.
just finished cleansing my tools.
You don't have to make it inedible. I want to enjoy it this time.
You better fucking enjoy it, lad. If you didn't enjoy the last time, I'll fucking kill you myself. After this, I'm going to fucking... And he just walks back in.
Before he leaves, I'll throw him a silver piece, and then I'll put
It
the...
just clatters on the moment before it hits the ground. You see him, he dives out, snatches it, and he just scoots back in.
And I'll put another silver piece on the table for the food.
Kelvin just like grabs it, slides it in, and puts it in his apron. So he just leans forward.
And
so, how's the adventure?
I just put down the 3 bottles and push it forward, and I say,
Oh.
I'll have a water, please.
You succeeded. Ha! I knew you had it in you. Good job, good job. You know, I have to say, this was the real test to see if all of you had the guts. And you did. And you came back, and you had something with you. I'm going to say now, my connection is going to be pleased. He
Glad
goes,
to
grabs
hear
3
it.
bottles, he takes it, just puts it underneath the counter.
I
I'll be sure to do it first thing in the morning, and you will be given your pay.
Absolutely. Kelvin, how much for, what do we need? 3 rooms? 4?
For the lot of you, I can do 3 rooms for the night for free. You've done something quite impressive.
Much obliged.
For that, the least I can do at least is give you free room and board for the night at least. And after that, we'll figure things out in terms of payment.
Sounds good.
The
I'll
rest of
take
you-
my cup of water and go sit down with Healer.
Yep. And he kind of looks at everyone else. You know what? Drinks are on me. 1 round to everyone.
I like this guy.
And they just go, all the people start cheering, and they just toss like, not all of you, only the adventurers this time. If you want a free drink, go out in that forest and get me a head or something. And everyone just goes, oh.
They'll give you a head, alright.
So he just goes over
Mongo.
he goes to one of the kegs, stops, shakes his head, goes over here to a more fancier keg with some like gold plating on it, and he gets some tankards and he fills it with a deep purple liquid. And goes over and he hands one to everyone, as well as you, Paxi, as well as a cup of water.
I will pass my mug of purple over to Kami.
It's already gone. You took 4 steps. You were 35 feet away, and it dissolved.
And he also just turns to the kitchen like, hey, Ronnie! Let's give him the glittering bauble special as well as whatever it is you're cooking. There's this, what? The special? How many? How many am I supposed to cook? And he just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
And
Oh,
he just like
I
pokes
take
his head
I
out
take
and
Healer
just-
out of my pocket and I put him on the table.
Nope, still 5. You order the other thing.
Oh, right.
So, like you see Ronnie just pops out like, 5, lad, are you serious? That's Oh, I get, and he just runs back in.
Can I
And after
roll
that,
an insight on what he was
roll insight if you want.
oohing and awing and
And shit.
like what am I missing here? Where's my insight? Oh, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I'm a dumbass.
And he looks a little excited to make some specials.
All right.
So, you guys have your drink. If you were to try it, it's actually a kind of type of wine that's a little sweet. In fact, it's almost tastes like mead, but it's wine. It's an unusual. It's like if anything, it's more like grape flavored mead. The best way to describe it. It's kind of unusual, but it has a nice buzz to it. And then you see Ronnie. He comes out. There's no smoke this time. He's like this small dwarf. His hands outstretched as he has like 5 platters balanced on his arms and 1 on his head. He starts giving them to everyone. It basically fish and chips with a bit of vinegar to the side. And you notice that in the middle of each chips is like a little pin with like looks like a jewel on the end. But if you were to inspect it closely, which is pretty easy to see, it's glass. And then he gets to Paxi, sits down another thing of chicken, but this time not charred. And he just goes back in to his kitchen.
Merry Christmas. We got tendies.
And fishies.
E.
But yeah.
Good
Guess-
protein.
And of course, while you guys are eating, he would pull out 3 keys and just set them down there. It'd be the first 3 rooms on the left. So I might as well just reveal.
Who is staying with who? I don't feel comfortable staying with the healer no more, Cammy.
I feel like Healer and what's his face, Kami would be together.
So Kami's not
Makes
gonna
sense.
take a room. He's gonna drink himself to sleep and leave a gold piece out for the bartender person and sleep at this table right here in the corner.
I'll hang out. I'll share a room with my fellow small person.
I am also okay with passing out by Kami at the bar.
Oh wait, yeah, we have 2 small people. We'll just fit 4 people in one room.
What the fuck?
Alright, well, apparently they're both passing out.
Also,
at the bar.
but if you pass out, he would basically, the barkeeper would grab your body, fireman carry you upstairs, and just dump you onto one of these chairs on the top floor.
That's
Sure. Granted, I'm a 4 foot, 250 pound dwarf.
And this
So-
guy is fucking muscular as well. He's an
All I can
adventurer,
think of is
so...
you're a fucking square.
I am a boulder. Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
I called him
dwarfy,
boy.
short, and stout.
So we got a long rest,
Yeah, at this point, you guys would get a long rest.
and we're level 10.
Now 20, JK. So after this, after seeing what you guys did, you guys would all be a level up. You would
Oh.
take a level. So you'll all be level 4.
Nice.
And first thing in the morning, this guy would basically leave the place to go drop off the goods. And what happens after that, we will find out, because this is where the session will end.
Yay!
Nice.
Good session.
That was good. Good job, dude.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
I did.
I managed to get everything in 5 syllables here.
I managed to do like 40 damage in a turn at level 3.
I didn't die.
At first I was worried the small fry would be too weak. No, the big guy more than made up for it.
Oh yeah, my character's actually really strong.
Alright, the syllable count for me this session is 145.
Oh my god, you're counting.
Yeah, you counting?
I said 29 different things, all 5 syllables.
Very good.
Nice.
Alright. Also, by the way, I will say for next future D&D sessions, preferably, if we can, probably start an hour earlier.
Yes,
Because
please.
starting at 9 for us is a little too late.
Yeah, because it's 1 a.m. right now.
That
I
means
can.
Chris will
Yeah.
be an hour late.
No,
And
well,
all
no, I can
effectively.
start an hour. I
It
can
would be
start at 5 our
5
time usually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
What about you, Mike?
I can start by, yeah. Because
Oh,
I get
so-
home at 4.
I know you get off at work at 5.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll be a little bit late most of the time, probably.
I mean,
Overall.
we started at 6 and it's 10 o'clock, and I'm like,
Up 4 hours.
I'm 1 beer away from punching the grave.
The grave. Punching.
Same.
But
So we are level 4 now?
Yes.
yes.
Oh.
But thank you.
Mantis.
This was awesome. You did a wonderful job.
Hey,
Kudos
thank
to
you.
you. And I
First
look
session.
forward to next week.
I am a polearm master. I will annoy the ever-living shit out of you.
I
I
hope
thought you were
not.
using a spear.
Huh?
Wait till I hit level 7.
Wait, I thought you were using a spear, Dane.
It can be whatever the
Dylan.
hell I want it to be. I've been using it as a glaive, which is a polearm. But
Oh
spears.
no, it's gonna be a Saints Row dildo weapon.
Yeah,
Dylan, I
sure.
wasn't sure what you're supposed to do, so I took equipment. I took leather armor, a dagger, and a shield.
Oh, well, you can have studded
All right.
leather.
Well, I don't know. It's just what I said.
All
Well,
right.
my AC is 16, which I think is actually higher than everybody else's. So
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
high. In this case, but yeah, like not to mention, depending on how much you guys get paid, you can do a little shopping in the city itself. So
Yeah, but say
Aha! Don't. I could
my AC is
fuck around-
12.
Sorry. I could fuck around with all that stuff in the forest because I'm immune to disease. I forgot that.
but what about magical?
I'm immune to disease. It doesn't matter.
It's like an undead plant that grows in
I
your.
think you may have forgotten about that one shot, Drew.
It's
You
like
should've-
undead cordyceps.
This is when he goes, no, this isn't disease. It's just a magical thing that
What
looks
about-
like a disease.
Okay, it's a disease. What about parasites?
So,
We'll find out.
I screwed up. Apparently, I can only cast Hellish Rebuke once a day. I thought it was a spell that I could just use.
All right, guys, let's go back. Okay, reverse time.
Yep.
We're going back to that encounter. It never happened.
Paxi
All right, guys,
died.
What's your initial? Nah. All
Rock-
right,
rocks fall.
learn- It's okay. You got critted. Like people got critted
4
a lot.
times?
That one guy crit me like 4 different times. I swear to
He
God.
also rolled a natural 1, so it kind of balances out. I think.
Okay,
I don't know.
Dylan,
It
there are
doesn't.
other numbers. There are other numbers on the dice between 1 and 20. You can pick between them.
Are you
don't
sure?
get to pick. You don't get to pick. What do you mean?
good night, guys.
All right,
Uh,
good
yeah,
night.
I'm gonna
Chris.
jump off as well.
I mean,
so
he
I'll
doesn't
see
show
everyone
us his
later.
rolls, so we wouldn't know if he did.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
I'm buying that new NX set, dude. I'm buying
You
2 of them.
You will.
All right. I'm jumping off
Yeah,
now, so
well-
I'll see everyone later.
Right, good night.
Later,
So-
Dylan. Thanks
so-
again.
We
Don't give an X your money.
yeah, don't do
Don't
it.
give Career your money.
Don't do it.
I'll do it.
Don't do it.
I'm doing it. I'm
No.
doing it.
No. I'm
I'm
so
doing it. I'm
disappointed.
doing it. I'm doing it
Doing it.
well.
He's doing it well.
So there is a flying fish mount, and
Yeah, there is. I want it.
the unit damage skin is blaster appropriate. So
Oh yeah, it
Wait, the
is.
fire one.
yeah,
How-
it's
Yeah, you
exactly
can
what
actually see-
it's exactly what I have now, except instead of red and
Potions.
black, it's red and white. It's not money, Ron. It's not money. It's part of an event. Stop judging me.
I'm left.
I'm allowed to judge you.
Wait, who left? What the-
Oh,
Chris left.
time to
judging, keep
roll for
judging.
HP.
Keep judging.
Oh wait, we roll for HP.
You can or you cannot.
I
I'm choosing to
just-
roll.
I did not.
Oh wait,
Oh, I forgot to
that's not-
roll for my HP this round.
That's the wrong. That's D20 or roll 20 syntax. Whoopsies. All right, 5.
Alright. Y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Good night.
You
Had
too.
fun.
See ya.
Holy shit! I rolled another 9.
I rolled another 9. But I didn't.
I rolled a 5 this time, but I rolled ridiculously high in my first 2, so it balances out.
Yeah, I had.
I think my first 2 rolls were like a 9 and a 12 for HP. I would have died if I had been standard HP. Ooh, I can get a feat or an ability score improvement. Let's go.
HP. Wait,
I now have 49 max HP.
how do you roll for your HP?
Damn, I only
initially?
have 46.
So if
I
you
just
go,
rolled separately and then added the number.
so go to your character page, go to home,
Uh-huh.
and scroll down to hit point type, and there's 2 options. There's fixed and then there's manual.
Oh, man.
And you click manual.
Okay. Now we go back
Then-
to manage HPs.
Then you go to class, click manage HP, and then just, I mean, there's no real way to roll it, so just do it in
Oh, so it's
I'll
4d8
just do
that I
it.
have to roll?
4d8 plus your Constitution modifier for each level.
4d8 plus 8?
Yeah.
Oh, for each
No,
level.
actually, no. So 3d8 plus 8, and then you get an extra 10 because your first level is automatically max HP. So just roll 3d8 plus
3d8 plus 10?
so just roll 3d8 first.
3d8.
I would re-roll that one. Dome would let you re-roll the one. What the fuck?
7.
Okay, alright, that works. 15, 18, 18 plus 8, 26 plus 8 more, so you have 34.
34.
Does that sound right?
That means I
Wait.
have 3 more than I would have had.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
rolled HP. Oh wait, 34. So I have 28.
Yeah, you get 3 more than you would. Yeah. So your
Cool, because
modifier...
it says hit point bonuses plus 8 from Constitution, so it adds that.
So it's this case 10 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3. So 28.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you actually have 36. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
36. Okay. Let's hope I don't get cucked by this later.
Ah well, that's the beauty of the game.
Yeah.
You get rewarded sometimes. You eat a dick other times.
Oh yeah, my stats rolled were not the greatest, but none of them were 1s. Or none of them were 2s or 1s, so it was just like...
You.
Oh,
Okie
did you guys see my Lumi weapon?
No.
You got-
Yeah,
You get a
tier
arc-
7.
You got
You get
T7 on
arcane?
purchase.
Tier
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, on my purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the shop.
Would you like to ask tier 7 what?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No one actually read what you said. I don't
Nobody
think.
actually saw the weapon.
Wait, did
Aw,
no one
that-
actually note? Did no one actually click on it and realize that it was tier 7 damage?
I mean, or maybe they just
No
went
one
along
said
with it.
anything. Yeah.
They just like grab. Oh well.
Jesus Christ. Alright, I did my farming for now. I might do more later, but not right now.
I need to do my daily bosses. Or I'm sorry, my weekly bosses.
I gotta do some odds.
Odd.
It's gonna be tragic.
Alright. I will move to the other chat in a bit.
Wait, I
Same.
could have sworn there was a Constitution thing that I wanted.
Goodbye, bye.
Wait. Why doesn't it have... Why doesn't it have... Oh, bonus attack. Why is it only plus 2? It says it's supposed to use... This attack uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack. It's not calculating this right. I should just roll again, but then I just do a 1d4. That's fine. Oh. Stop recording.